The Imperial Decree summoning the realm's finest talents. You dare tear it down. If I don't break your dog legs today, I might as well bash my own head into a wall. Tearing down the Imperial Decree. Me, a ruthless capitalist from the 21st century, wasn't TI just scamming some foreigners in a hotel scheme? You old bastard, if you keep spewing garbage, I'll punch your dog eyes out. The moment you throw a punch, I'll squeeze at least 3 grand out of you. He has lost it. The young master's definitely lost it. How dare he talk to the old master like that? You brat, how dare you talk to your father like that? Old bastard still running his mouth. Well then, I'm your daddy. Guards, fetch the ladder, my great blade, rather than let this brat offend her majesty and drag the entire Gal family down with him. I'd rather deal with this brat myself than beg the Empress for forgiveness. A real blade. I actually time traveled. My predecessor here was a total spoiled brat, and he actually tore down the royal decree. Tearing it down without the skills is a crime of treason against the throne. I'm screwed. This cheap dad of mine is afraid I'll drag the whole family down. He is really about to kill his own son for justice.
Gao Feng, you wouldn't dare. Even a tiger won't eat its own cub. If you want to kill Yanger, kill me first.
Get out of the way. This brat has lost his mind if he makes it to the throne hall. Who knows what chaos he'll stir up. Look at this brat, facing death and still standing on the rooftop. Spouting nonsense, refusing to bow his head one bit. How can I tolerate that? Your son Gao Yang greets you, father. The truth is, I tore down the royal decree to make a name for myself and restore the Gao family's century-old glory. It was no rash decision.
At 17 you wrote 1 petals, 2 petals, 3, 4. At 18 you wrote close up, a big rocketane. From afar, a big rocketane. Now you're 19.
And you tear down the Empress's call for talent. Do you have any idea? This will make the entire Gal family a target for everyone? What is done, father. Even if you beat me black and blue, it won't change anything. The Empress just took the throne. She is desperate for talent. I tore down the royal decree. It is common knowledge by now. If father were to interfere harshly, at the very least, it'd be disrespect to the Empress. At the worst, it'd be a crime of treason against the throne. This defiant brat, since when did he get such a sharp tongue? Father, have you ever heard of the poison strategist? One who schemes for others, schemes for the world. One who schemes only for himself, that is a poison strategist. Those who employ open schemes, those whose plots harm their own virtue, they're poison strategists. Now that the realm is unified, yet the north remains unsettled. Within, treacherous officials plague the state. Feudal lords carve up their territories without barbarians eye us with hungry wolves' gaze. Conventional methods won't cut it anymore. This is the age of the poison strategist.
Though I know he is just spinning tales. There is actually some sense to it. Could this brat have been hiding his talents all along?
Uncle Gao, Ching Ching has come uninvited. I hope I'm not intruding.
We're family here. No need for formalities. Why must you be so polite, Ching Ching?
Uncle Gao, I've come today to break off the engagement.
The betrothal between the Song and Gao family Susign, it can't just be called off like that. By doing this, the Song family Kutai, where does that leave the Duke of Dingguo's household?
This is a family decision. Ching Ching has no power to stop it. Father asked me to tell you. Duke, should the Gao family ever face trouble, the Song family will lend our full support.
Get out! Tell Song Li this. If anyone's breaking this engagement, it is the Gao family. Your Song family, who do you think you are?
The Empress has taken the throne. Power has shifted hands. Gao Yang recklessly tore down the recruitment edict. The Gao family is destined for decline. The future husband of me, Song Ching Ching, will never be some nobody like this. The Song family will be awaiting the Duke of Dingguo's visit.
You little beast getting publicly dumped like that, and you're still laughing? Father, a woman so obsessed with status and vanity Hagrid, isn't it for the best that she is gone? She just sees the new Empress on the throne, afraid the Gao family's fall will drag down the Songs. So the moment I took down that edict, she came running to cut ties.
Calling off the engagement, the Gao family will not let this go. But the priority now is the examination at the Golden Throne Hall. I'll take you into the palace right away. Once we're at the Golden Throne Hall, I don't expect you to impress the Empress, but you must not make any mistakes, otherwise the entire Duke's estate will be implicated.
Summon the son of the Minister of Revenue. Gao Yang to the throne, I pay my respects to your majesty.
Rise, my ministers. Since Gao Yang has accepted the imperial decree, I shall put you to the test.
I await your majesty's command.
First question. If you were a newly appointed magistrate in a remote county, and a well-connected butcher insulted you in public, what would you do?
I would greet him with a smile and thank him for pointing out my shortcomings. Then I would return to the county office and send 10 taels of gold over with drums and gongs, telling everyone it was a reward for the butcher. That area is rife with bandits. The butcher most likely wouldn't keep that gold for long. I would then have my constables keep a secret watch. Once trouble breaks out, I'd arrest the culprits on the spot.
Then, what if you had a blood feud with an enemy, and just when things seemed settled, there remained a lingering threat? What would you do?
I would never leave myself a lingering threat. If it truly came to that point, I would think through all the ensuing troubles as well, and not allow the root of disaster to rise again. My worthless son is talentless and has offended your majesty. It is my failure to discipline him properly. I beg your majesty to punish me.
Why would I punish you?
If one leaves no room at all for mercy, that is far too ruthless a method. A man with such a mindset, if he were to hold office, would surely bring disaster to the people.
Top Scholar Kui speaks wisely. The great blades of our doggone men should be used to slay enemies on the battlefield, not for such schemes.
General Wang is right. But if I truly had a blood feud with someone, I wouldn't leave myself a lingering threat either. You?
Your silver tongue cannot hide your brutal nature. Top Scholar Kui is a man of noble character. I admire that. But I am just an ordinary man. Can't leave a hidden danger for the future, making my family spend the next decade plus living in constant fear.
How do you know he won't seek revenge a decade later? If it really comes to that, who would dare gamble with their whole family's lives? I can live a lifetime with guilt. But I absolutely cannot live a lifetime in fear. Threats that should be eliminated must be dealt with in advance. Of course, if I were truly faced with that situation, I would first let the person go. But I'd keep a close watch on where they went, to avoid any further complications.
The Gao family, a century-old military house, still has such a cunning descendant. If he ever came to power, even the earthworms in old Wang's yard would probably be split in two.
Your Majesty, what the Deputy Minister Gao's son said may be harsh, but it is not without merit. When facing a great vendetta, you truly can't rely on momentary soft-heartedness.
When facing an enemy, being indecisive isn't necessarily a good thing. Your answer to the first question was ruthless, but it has its reasoning.
This young man truly has earned Her Majesty's respect.
Deputy Minister Gao, no need to kneel, please rise.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
The first question was merely a small test from me, but to become an official of the Great Cheatsian and speak for the people, it is not that simple.
Please present your question, Your Majesty. I am willing to serve Your Majesty with utmost loyalty.
This question isn't just for Deputy Minister Gao's son. All my ministers may speak freely as well. Whoever impresses me will be given an important post. You are a tea merchant from out of town. You've leased a barren mountain in a poor, remote area of Jiangnan. But to grow tea, you must first clear the land. Yet the locals are incredibly lazy. Not only do they refuse to clear the land, even the few workers you manage to hire are extremely sluggish on the job, with the tea planting season fast approaching. What should you do?
Your Majesty, what is so hard about that? If one times the pay gets no takers, then offer 2 or 3 times the pay with enough money on the line. Why worry about no locals answering the call to clear land?
General Wang, you're mistaken there. As a merchant, one naturally prioritizes profit. 3 times the pay may indeed attract workers, but wouldn't that drive up the cost significantly? Besides, as I've said, even if the common folks do show up to work, most of them are just lazy. The tea merchants have no foothold in the south, so how can they keep things under control?
It was my oversight, but that region is remote and barren, and the locals are naturally indolent. If we don't raise the wages, who would even bother to respond? This slack-off attitude is simply impossible to curb. This problem, there is no solution.
Since we're selecting great talents to serve the nation and its people, how could it be too easy? Across the Empire, there are countless matters far tougher than this to handle. Are we just supposed to abandon them all? I wouldn't dare. Rise, my minister. Thank you, Your Majesty. Breaking new ground isn't hard. Farming isn't hard. But doing it at the lowest cost and fastest speed, that is the real challenge. Minister K, you are the top scholar of our great Gan with extraordinary brilliance. Do you have a solution?
Your Majesty, I haven't figured it out yet, but give me just 1 stick of incense's time, and I will surely present a satisfactory answer.
Elder Joe, you are the grand scholar of the Hanlin Academy, the pillar of our great Gan's literary world. Do you have a solution? I'm afraid I have no better plan yet. Young, do you have a solution?
I need some time to think as well.
Oh. You accepted my decree-seeking talent, and I've treated you differently from the rest. If you can't come up with an answer, then I'll have you charged with deceiving the Emperor. Where are the Black Ice Guards?
The crime of deceiving the Emperor, the Gao family's century-old legacy, is it all going to crumble in an instant? Your Majesty, I suddenly thought of a few strategies. They might just solve this problem. To get the lazy folks to break ground on their own, you have to play on human nature. My method is simple. All it takes is one setup. If I were the tea merchant, I'd first hire a dozen or so people to clear the land after a few days. I'd bury a few gold pieces in the wild hills. This round is won.
In the barren hills, we bury gold. I thought you had some brilliant plan. Bury gold? Wouldn't the villagers just dig it up and run off?
Patience, General. The moment the gold is unearthed, there is no hiding it from the others working alongside. Then I'll seize the moment, and with a panic-lick demand, they hand over the gold. I'll even throw in some silver of my own, and tell them to keep their mouths shut about the gold in the barren hills. With that little act, within a few hours, word that there is a gold mine beneath the hills will spread everywhere. All it takes is 1 or 2 pieces of gold, and human greed will be laid bare for all to see. By then, not a single coin in wages, and the whole village, young and old, will grab their hoes and head up the mountain to dig through the night.
You've really thought this through, using one spark to stir people's hearts. That can indeed force the situation forward.
Your Majesty, hold on, this scheme isn't over yet. The most dangerous part is just beginning, in this remote, impoverished land. If the local officials are willing to cooperate, then this plan naturally gets twice the result with half the effort. You reckless brat, what nonsense are you spouting? How dare you openly discuss manipulating local officials?
It is fine, Young. Go on, if the officials agree. What comes after?
The barren hills are the tea merchant's private land. The villagers rushing up the mountain to dig for gold at night has already violated the laws of the Great Qian. I'll immediately report it to the authorities and have soldiers sent to arrest them. I'll order them to hand over every piece of gold they dug up. People are jealous by nature, so they'll surely rat each other out. No one gets away.
Not a single coin spent. The villagers clear, the land for free, and in the end, even the gold they dug up gets returned through the officials' hands. This plan is ruthless.
If you can borrow the officials' power and exploit the weaknesses of human nature, it truly saves a lot of effort.
But borrowing the officials' power doesn't come cheap, risking it all going down the drain. Just to get back a few pieces of gold. Is it worth it?
Minister Kuei, who said we stop there. Why must it involve actual gold and silver as bribes? But the viciousness of the scheme doesn't end there. What if the bait laid out earlier was already part of a backup plan?
Setting a trap to lure someone in isn't enough, Ifrit. He even kept a contingency in reserve. Your methods are going too far.
Even the earlier bait had a backup plan behind it. This man's mind runs deeper than I thought.
If the authorities are willing to cooperate, they can use that momentum to push the situation back under control. By then, they'll have a hard time arguing their way out. If the situation can't be recovered, they'll have no choice but to keep being pushed around. A scheme this ruthless. He is truly cut from the cloth of the Gao family's century of military command, of course, to keep things from spiraling out of control. He still left an escape hatch, so no one would blow up on the spot once things settle down. He'd patch things up with some surface-level gestures, slowly restoring his reputation.
His grasp on human nature is frighteningly deep.
Your Majesty, unfortunately time was too tight with this. Scheme still has some gaps. If you'd given me a bit more time, I could have made it even more airtight. Isn't this already enough? You're driving people into a corner with no way out. Your Majesty, the scheme is far too ruthless. I beg Your Majesty to punish Gao Yang severely. I second that.
Your Majesty, please see clearly. A strategy itself has no inherent good or evil cons. It all depends on how it is used. My son's plan may be harsh, but it is not without merit.
Your Majesty, this plan must not be adopted. Gao Yang's mind is too calculating. No, he absolutely cannot be entrusted with any major responsibility.
Too harsh, you say? Then, my dear ministers, who among you has a better plan? Being able to see through the heart of the problem, ekami that itself is a skill. Gao Yang, to devise such a scheme in so short a time, is a clear testament to his talent. I'm tired. Port is dismissed.
He just bailed like that? What about the reward he promised? No gold. Fine, at least throw me a couple of beauties.
As for today's matter, Feng Cheng is about to turn upside down.
The Empress really doesn't play by the rules. Father, His Majesty didn't order a flogging. So I've passed this hurdle, right? When we get back to the manor. I won't get a beating, will I?
Dad, what is wrong with you?
Your performance today. I'm very pleased with it.
As the old saying goes, fighting tigers needs blood brothers, going to war needs father and son. This is my first time being a father. I'm bound to have my shortcomings. You don't take it too much to heart.
Did he take the wrong pills? Or is he about to drop another bombshell on me?
I've spent 50 years on the battlefield for this dynasties. Put on my armor for me. I'm going to see the Emperor.
Lord Duke. The eldest young master has always been reckless before, but he has never done something as disgraceful as tearing down the imperial decree. Something like that. This situation today. I suspect someone's pulling strings behind the scenes.
If it were just young folks messing around, fine, but targeting younger today.
It is clear someone wants to use the new Emperor's ascension to make a move against our Gao family. If I want to protect Yanger, this old face of mine, I have no choice but to go sell it today.
Lord Duke, there is good news.
Good news? Even the Song family dared to call off the engagement in public. Go on.
The eldest young master answered the call for talent. In the throne hall, he passed His Majesty's test. Now the whole Fengcheng is buzzing about the eldest young master's brilliant plan.
What did you say? Yang passed the test. The Gao family wasn't punished. It is absolutely true.
Everyone's saying the eldest young master was hiding his talents and hiding them deep.
A red son knows how to dig holes. How could my offspring really be that useless?
And the bad news?
The eldest young master's plan was too ruthless. Not only did the refugees work the land for nothing, in the end they were crushed and couldn't lift their heads while he walked away with a great reputation. Even Her Majesty the Empress fell silent after hearing this.
She said nothing. The common folk erupted in outrage, saying the eldest young master's methods were too ruthless.
I've seen countless schemes and ruthless machinations in my time. But this eldest grandson, he is crueler than any of them.
"10,000 blessings. Father, how did His Majesty punish the Duke of Dingguo's estate?
The engagement is called off.
The Duke of Dingguo never showed his face. Minister Gao flew into a rage upon hearing this. Father, why do you ask? Did something go wrong at court?
That Gao Yang has been hiding his true abilities all along. He is not just talented Potimal. The Duke of Dingguo's estate has also managed to turn the tide.
What? Father, why worry? Since His Majesty didn't reward him publicly, it means no final decision has been made. Gao Yang adores me like a treasure. The whole of Chang'an knows it. There is still room to maneuver in this matter. Besides, with my abilities, there are countless talented men across the empire. The Duke of Dingguo is old after all. No great loss if we let him go. The rumors in the capital are misleading. A scheme this vicious, no ordinary spoiled brat could have devised it. Even I have never seen anything like it. This Gao Yang's grasp of human nature effort, especially the darkness in effort, is absolutely terrifying. If your majesty uses him well, he will surely be a great talent for the empire. Then tell me, between Gao Yang and Kui Xinghe, who is better suited to assist me in forging an unprecedented legacy? Sui Xinghe of the Kui family. Sui Xinghe is not only the top scholar of this dynasty, he is the pillar of the state. His treatise on governance brilliantly dissects the empire's political ills. If your majesty wishes to build a legacy for 10,000 generations, he should be your first choice. But I have my eye on this Gao Yang. I have a feeling Gahi is the one I've been looking for.
Your Majesty, Gao Yang's record is tarnished. He may understand people, but when it comes to governing,
how can he compare to Scholar Quek? We'll find out with a test.
Now that is satisfying, a duke's estate, just like that, a third-rank official, that status alone is enough to walk all over Feng City. Now that he has got the Empress's backing, his future is practically unimaginable. I wonder what kind of official post the Empress will grant him.
Brother, how are you still alive?
Greetings, father.
I've heard all about Yanger's situation. That brat was hiding it deep. But what happened today is a good thing for our Gao family.
Yet His Majesty didn't grant a direct reward, which means nothing is set in stone just yet.
Yanger is unruly, and his reputation precedes him. Originally, Cui Xinghe was the Empress's top choice. But Yanger came out of nowhere. Sui Xinghe understands governance. It is only natural for His Majesty to hesitate, in my view.
His Majesty has one more test between the two, specifically focused on governance. If Yanger can't beat that top scholar, Kui, won't he still be in for punishment?
Not necessarily. I've lived nearly 70 years. Served 3 emperors. I've seen every dirty trick in the book. But something this ruthless. This is a first.
Yanger might just surprise us again. As long as I'm still breathing, I can always keep him alive while I'm still around. D. Let him stir things up. That is not a bad thing.
Father, today Song Li's daughter Song Qingqing came in person to break off the engagement. There is quite a buzz around Feng City. What should we do?
A marriage contract with the Duke of Dingwall's household isn't that easy to break since the Song family shows no decency. Don't blame me for showing none in return. Kick out every member of the Song family from the military. Every last one of them. If I throw a fit, His Majesty won't say a word. Enough of that. Life's too short not to enjoy it. Come play chess with me.
I'll give you a handicap of 1 piece. Father, let's agree beforehand. If someone loses, no throwing the chessboard at anyone.
This year, many regions suffered major disasters. Public outrage is boiling over. The magistrate of Linjiang County has submitted a memorial. Grain merchants everywhere are hoarding supplies. Grain prices are starting to skyrocket, as luck would have it. Not far away, Qingshui City has also been hit by a major disaster. Grain prices are rising. The common people can barely afford it. Issue the decree. Grant the Duke of Dinggo's estate, Gao Yang, the authority of imperial censor, to take charge of all matters in Linjiang City. Grant the Si family Sui Xinghe the position of imperial censor for Qingshui City, to take over Qingshui City. I want them to stabilize grain prices at the fastest speed possible and restore peace to the local people. Yes, Your Majesty. Sui Xinghe knows his limits, and has the means to get things done. Qingshui City won't fall into chaos. But as for Gao Yang's side, you should go along as well, as you command. If I truly misjudged her, then you step in promptly to prevent the situation from worsening. But Gao Yang is different from most people. Don't act unless absolutely necessary. Father, I will prove to the world that a woman can also sit on the throne, that a woman can lead the great Gan dynasties to strength. I won't just make great Gan stronger. I will also settle the conflicts between the nations, and end this chaos that has lasted 600 years. By the mandate of heaven, the Emperor decrees, a great disaster has struck the land. Qingshui City is in dire straits. Cui Xinghe is hereby appointed as interim imperial censor to oversee all affairs in Qingshui City. Depart immediately. No delays allowed. By imperial order.
Your servant Shui Xing, he accepts the decree. I will give it my all.
Please depart at once, Lord Sui. I still have important duties to attend to, so I'll take my leave now.
That is the direction of the Duke of Dingguo's estate. This is the Empress's test for you and for Gao Yang, whether my Queckie family can rise to the next level.
All depends on you. Rest assured, Father, when it comes to schemes and cunning, I may not match that Gao Yang. But when it comes to governing the state, 100 of him can't compare to me. The grain prices in Qingshui City will drop within 15 days.
My son Xinghe has the makings of a prime minister.
Brother, the servants say you accepted an imperial decree recklessly. I'm going to be executed. Is this for real?
Linger, you're killing me here.
Big brother, the peach blossom pastries you promised to buy me, you haven't bought them yet. If you die, who is going to buy them for Linger? Big brother, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a switch. I think your childhood needs a little emphasis.
Big brother, Linger was wrong.
Don't run if I don't give you a beating today. I'll change my name from Gao Yang to Gao Kia.
The imperial decree has arrived.
I'll let you off the hook for now. Let's see what the Empress has bestowed.
You unfilial wretch. Lower your head when receiving the decree. Don't commit the grave crime of disrespect.
By the grace of heaven, the Empress decrees. The disaster in Linjiang City is urgent as fire. Gao Yang is hereby appointed as provisional imperial censor to oversee all matters of Linjiang City and stabilize grain prices at the fastest speed. Depart immediately. This is the decree.
Gao Yang, I thank your majesty for her grace. Lord Murong, with this wretch's abilities, how could he possibly serve as imperial censor? The lives of an entire city's people cannot afford any recklessness.
Vice Minister Gao. This is His Majesty's will. No one can change it. The disaster is urgent. I urge Censor Gao to set off without delay. I'll be waiting outside.
The disaster is like fire. Go pack your things. This is His Majesty's test for you. Better to do nothing than to make a mistake. Even if you fail, I can still keep your sorry hide alive.
Linjiang City is over 200 li away. The journey won't be easy. Green Vine, you go with Yanger. Take care of his daily needs.
Yes. No. Big brother, here are the peach blossom pastries. Eat them on the road.
Brother, with you gone, at least half a month. At the Rouge Pavilion in the capital, those young ladies you always look after. Your little brother will take care of them for you. Don't you worry, you wretched beast. Get out of here within 3 breaths. Don't worry, big brother, you're womenfolk. I'll be sure to look after them well. You little brat, just wait till I get back and teach you a lesson. Father, please calm down. An elder brother is like a father. Once your son returns, I'll be sure to discipline Shang Wen properly.
Feng Cheng is seething with undercurrents. If you're not confident, then do as your grandfather says. The Gao family will always protect you. Don't ever show off your skills.
A young eagle must eventually spread its wings, staying under the family's protection all day. How can it ever soar through the sky? His Majesty has just taken the throne. This is exactly when she needs people. If I can earn the Empress's trust, I will continue. The Duke's Mansion's century of glory. The grain prices in Linjiang City alone will drop within 10 days. Father, just wait in Fengcheng for my good news. From now on, this great Gao family needs someone new to carry the weight. Your son is off now. I've got to latch on to the Empress's coattails. This trip. If I don't destroy those grain merchants in Linjiang City who profited off the crisis, I might as well go smash my head into a block of tofu.
Heaven has finally blessed the Gao family.
Spread my orders? Put that wretched Gao Chengwen under house arrest until Yanger returns. He's not to take a single step outside the Duke's mansion. Otherwise, I'll break all 3 of his legs. Lord Morong, why are you coming with me?
By His Majesty's decree, I'm ordered to accompany you, Linjiang City.
After all, it is a city full of people. We can't afford any mistakes.
Young Master Gao is indeed clever. No wonder His Majesty thinks so highly of you.
No wonder she values you. It seems His Majesty's assessment doesn't just involve me alone. If I'm not mistaken, there is also Champion Scholar Twen.
How did you know?
How much authority do I have on this trip?
As an Imperial Censor, I travel the realm on His Majesty's behalf, holding the power of life and death in Linjiang City. From the County Magistrate on down to the common folk, young Master Gao can command everyone.
Including you. Magistrate Morong, let me take a look at your leg.
Young Master Gao, don't you think that is a bit out of line?
I'm just making sure. Who is really in charge in this city? A bunch of grain merchants profiteering off a disaster that is easy enough to handle.
When will the Imperial Censor arrive? Magistrate DU, don't worry, the censor
should be here any moment now. Grain prices are skyrocketing. The 4 major grain merchants, Chan, Zhao, Han, and Lin, are paying lip service while stabbing us in the back. Grain prices have gone from 40 coppers a due up to 100 coppers a due, a jump of a full 60 coppers. The people can't afford it anymore. How can I not be worried as county magistrate?
Finally, they're here.
Magistrate DU, this is the Imperial Censor specially appointed by Her Majesty the Empress, tasked with overseeing the great disaster in Linjiang City. From this moment on, all matters in Linjiang City, big or small, are under young Master Gao's control.
Your subordinate, Du Jiang, county magistrate of Linjiang.
Pays respects to young Master Gao. Magistrate Du, no need for such formalities. The round trip cost us 2 days. What is the situation in the city now? Young Master Gao, please, come in.
Linjiang City has been hit by relentless torrential rain. This year's harvest has failed. The 4 major grain merchants in the city have taken the chance to hoard grain like crazy. In just 10 days, grain prices have soared to 100 coppers a due. If I hadn't ordered the granaries opened to release grain, prices would have climbed even higher. Also, a flood of refugees has poured in, and they urgently need to be settled. Otherwise, there could be riots. Young Master Gao, how do we crack this situation?
This situation isn't hard to crack.
Please, Censor Gao, do share your wisdom. On behalf of the 100,000 citizens of Linjiang City, I bow in gratitude to young Master Gao. First, shut down Linjiang City's granaries. Young Master Gao, surely you're joking with me. Right now, with the granaries open, grain prices are still hard to contain, let alone if we close them. I'm afraid the moment the order is given, grain prices in the city would instantly soar past 100 wen per due. It's such an exorbitant price.
How could the common folks ever afford it these past few years? Disasters have struck non-stop, harvests have been meager. The granaries here in Linjiang City, can they feed 100,000 people for even 5 days? No, they can't.
But once we shut down the granaries, grain prices are bound to skyrocket. Young Master Gao, what you're saying, I'm afraid I can hardly agree.
Even if we keep the granaries open, at a price of 100 wen per due, Magistrate Du, do you think how many common folks can actually afford it? And I'm not here to explain myself to you, I'm giving you an order. You don't have a choice in this. I'll send men to shut down the granaries right away. But young Master Gao, you'd better think this through. Once grain prices spiral out of control, the responsibility for that, within 7 days, if grain prices in Linjiang City don't come down, all the consequences, I alone will bear them. Even if it costs me my very life.
If the people truly end up destitute and desperate, what good is one man's life then?
Bring me the map of the Linjiang City area. How is grain typically transported into Linjiang City? 2 ways, by water and by land.
But since Linjiang City sits near the Qingshui River, water transport is more common. Faster and with less loss. Young Master Gao, have you already come up with a clever plan? The biggest grain merchants in Linjiang City. Does Magistrate Du know who they are? The 4 great houses, Qian, Zhao Han, and Lin, they've been entrenched here for a century. Seizing on this great calamity, they've been frantically hoarding grain from the market, dragging the smaller merchants along with them, profiteering off the nation's misery in just a few dozen days. Grain prices have nearly doubled. But His Majesty has only just ascended the throne. We can't resort to forceful suppression, or it might spark chaos.
I'd like to ask Magistrate Du to prepare a fine feast with good wine and host a banquet on my behalf for the 4 great houses, Qian, Zhao Han, and Lin.
Young Master Gao, to be honest with you, I've already tried this approach before, and it yielded little results. Merchants chase profit, and when they catch a golden opportunity, they will never give in easily.
Just do as told.
Then, I'll be watching to see what young Master Gao can do.
Master Lin, Magistrate Du has sent word. The Imperial Court has dispatched a censor to take charge of all affairs in Linjiang City. He has summoned us to appear. It is probably about lowering the grain prices. What are we going to do? It is just a dinner invitation.
What is there to fear? If he says lower the prices, we lower them. As long as we stand united, no matter how much grain the city granary releases, we'll buy up every bit of it. Not only will the price not drop, we can push it all the way up to 110 coppers per dute.
But I've heard this Imperial censor is very young.
And he comes from Feng City. He probably has powerful backing if we anger the big shots in Feng City. Patriarch Zhao has a point. We'll lower the price by 5 coppers. Consider doing him a favor. But let me make this clear right now. Anyone who stands in the way of my profits, I will not let it go easily.
We all follow Master Lin's lead.
Change into a plain long robe. And come with me to the banquet.
Young Master Gao, these grain merchants are all sly old foxes. Getting them to lower prices is harder than killing them. 5 coppers at most is their limit.
Magistrate Du, keep your composure as the parent official of this county. If even you lose your head, how will we ever stabilize the grain prices? Then I'll just wait and see what Censor Gao can do. Censor, the heads of the Chan, Zhao Han, and Lin families have arrived. Send them in. Yes.
We pay our respects to Censor Gao.
I've long heard that the 4 great families are century-old wealthy merchants of Linjiang City. But seeing you today, you look rather down and out. Censor Girl, you wouldn't know. Linjiang City was hit by heavy rains. The farmland was all destroyed. The people have no grain to eat.
It breaks our hearts. We've been handing out free porridge non-stop, spending huge sums on disaster relief. We're already running at a loss. That is right. We're beloved by the people. How could we just stand by and do nothing? But giving so generously like this?
We're almost out of supplies. Imperial Inspector Gao has arrived. The pressure on us has eased quite a bit. The 4 clan heads are truly noble. With hearts full of compassion, I Gao Yang am impressed. Please have a seat. However, I've been appointed by the Empress to take charge of all affairs in Linjiang City, now that Inspector Gao has arrived.
The Lin family will naturally show our sincerity. We're willing to cut our price by 5 when selling grain at a loss. The Han family as well.
Cutting hours by 5 when.
H when. What does Inspector Gao think?
Inspector Gao. Only higher, never lower. Anyone who dares to sell grain below 151 per due, I will have their head.
Inspector Gao, this old man might be getting up there in years. My ears aren't what they used to be. What did you just say? You want us
to not sell grain below 151 per due. Is my meaning that hard to understand? 150 wen per due, anyone who dares to sell below this price. If I find out, then your head is on the line. Is that clear enough for all of you this time? Inspector Gao, will this be posted as an official notice? After this meal, the grain price shall not fall below 150 wen per due. The notice of this decree will be posted on every street in Linjiang City.
You are wise, Inspector. We will strictly follow your orders. Allow me to toast you, sir.
Old Master Lin, this new inspector, he is not telling us to lower prices.
Instead, he is raising the grain price to 150 when per due. Could there be something off about this?
I've lived half my life. I've seen every kind of scheme there is. But I've never seen grain prices spike and then come back down. Whatever this Inspector Gao is up to. While the iron is hot, making a killing is what really matters. No matter how chaotic Linjiang City gets, we're just following the county office's orders. No blame on our backs. And we rake in sky-high profits.
Old Master Lin is right. This is a windfall of immense fortune. My Qiuchen family will follow Mr. Lin's lead in everything.
My Zhao family will also follow Mr. Lin, my Han family too, before the county office posts the official notice. Quickly, at a price of 100 coppers per due, sweep up all the grain on the market. In troubled times, grain prices have no ceiling. Once the notice goes up, grain prices can never stay at just 150 coppers. When the common folk can't survive, they'll sell everything they own to buy it.
Brilliant. Inspector Gao, are you really going to post this notice, mandating no less than 150 coppers per due all across Linjiang City? Once the notice goes up, there is no turning back. The people's furious outcry could drown the entire Linjiang County office.
Magistrate Du, just do as I say. The rest is none of your concern.
Sir, do you know what the consequences will be? Within 10 to 15 days, Linjiang City will become a living hell. Countless people will starve to death. Families torn apart, homes destroyed, lives lost. I am 36 years old, a man of unyielding pride. I have never begged anyone in my life. But today, I beg you, sir, to withdraw your order. 150 coppers per due. Ordinary people simply cannot afford it.
Magistrate Du, if you want to lower grain prices, you don't have to force them down by sheer pressure. Remember, the harder you press down on a spring, the more violently it rebounds. 7 days from now, everything will be fine. I'm not gambling with my life. Magistrate Du, I'll take a look around. I can see this government office is falling apart from age. In a few days, once grain prices drop, it might be worth renovating.
Magistrate Morong, are you really going to stand by and watch Linjiang City descend into chaos and misery?
Her Majesty the Empress has decreed all matters in Linjiang City, great and small, are entirely in young Master Gao's hands. If the situation becomes urgent and spirals out of control, I will step in to stop it myself.
By then, it may already be too late. Someone, bring me my brush and ink. I will submit a memorial tonight by express courier, 800 li a day. Impeach this official.
Urgent dispatch from Linjiang City.
Linjiang City presented. This Gao Yang in the Imperial Court. Casually toss out a monkey trick. Let me see what schemes he has in Linjiang City. This Gao Yang dares to collude with merchants to drive up grain prices, not only refusing to let local grain merchants lower prices, but even selling grain at exorbitant rates. This is utterly outrageous. Price. You're right, this Gao Yang can even crack the monkey trick. He is no ordinary talent. Could there be a hidden agenda? On one hand, he wants to lower grain prices in Linjiang City. On the other, he has driven them sky high. Gao Yang, what exactly are you trying to do? You sure know how to cause me trouble.
Your Majesty, I impeach Gao Yang, grandson of Duke Dingguo. Gao Yang, favored by Your Majesty, serves as Imperial Censor of Linjiang City, but he has colluded with merchants, ordering grain prices in Linjiang City not to fall below 151 per due. He has even lavishly renovated the government office. This conduct is truly incompetent. I beg Your Majesty to order severe punishment to serve as a warning to others.
150 wen per due. This wretch.
Didn't I tell him if you can't handle it, don't show off 150 wen per due. If this goes on for long, it will surely stir up massive public outrage. Even corpses littering the streets. A living hell. I echo Minister Yan's words. I beg Your Majesty to punish him severely.
Linjiang County was already hit by torrential rains. The people harvested nothing. If we turn a blind eye to such high grain prices, it will surely ignite tremendous public fury. I urge Your Majesty to stop this in time, to avoid irreparable consequences.
We concur. We beg Your Majesty to punish him severely.
The grandson of Duke Dingguo walks an unconventional path. Since I have promised, those with extraordinary talent must be met with extraordinary measures. It has only been 2 days. Why the rush, my ministers? Perhaps the grandson of Duke Dingguo will deliver a satisfactory answer.
Wanting grain prices to drop. Who in the world would jack grain prices up to the sky? This Gao Yang is nothing but an incompetent fool. How could he ever handle such a big responsibility?
General Wang, are you questioning my judgment? I would never dare, Your Majesty. Linjiang City won't fall into chaos. I've already set up a backup plan long ago. County Magistrate DU, since it has been said that Gao Yang, grandson of Duke Guo, made bold claims promising to lower grain prices within 7 days. Then give him those 7 days. My mind is made up on this. No more arguments.
Whether Gao Yang's a dragon or a worm, one look tells it all. Too bad the Empress trusts him so much. Looks like our Song family was right to call off the engagement.
Father. But word has come from Linjiang City.
That is right. Gao Yang went to Linjiang City. The very first thing he did was strictly order the 4 major grain merchants not to sell grain below 150 coppers per due. Today, the impeachment memorials have already reached the throne hall, if not for the Empress shielding him.
Gao Yang would be in deep trouble.
That Gao Yang really is a fool. Good thing our Song family called off the engagement early. Otherwise, we'd be dragged into this mess.
Merchants are greedy. Instead of lowering prices, he is raising them. If those grain merchants don't jack prices up to the sky, I Song Li might as well go smash my head on a block of tofu. Ching Ching, top scholar Qi went to Qingshui City. Gao Yang went to Linjiang City. Both places have similar disasters. This is clearly a contest. But in this contest, Gao Yang is already destined for a crushing defeat. Top scholar Kui is bound to become the most talked about figure in all of Fengcheng. He is destined to soar to the top. You must seize this opportunity.
Don't worry, Father. Young Master Kui's talent is renowned throughout Fengcheng. I've already been in contact with him. Good.
If you can win over top scholar Kui, our Song family is destined to prosper.
Gao Yang, 7 days from now, all of Fengcheng will be watching you. Become a complete and utter joke.
180 coppers per due. Are we supposed to survive this? Your Honor, our righteous judge, please open the granaries and release the grain. My whole family is literally starving to death. It is way past 180 coppers a due today. It has already broken past 200 coppers a due. Those heartless bastards who eat people without spitting out the bones. Even at 200 coppers a due they won't sell. They'll get what is coming to them sooner or later.
Sir, if this keeps up, with the public outrage boiling over, I'm afraid it'll be impossible to contain. This situation right now is exactly what I wanted to see, censor in chief. Once the notice goes up, how can the people not be furious? My impeachment memorial was sent back. His Majesty ordered us to follow the censor in chief's lead. What else can I do? Today is the 7th day already. Not only has the grain price in Linjiang City not dropped, it has actually risen to 200 coppers a due. That is 50 coppers more than the 150 stated on the notice. The people's grain reserves are running dry, and the county office won't open the granaries. In a few more days, there is bound to be chaos. Where is Censor Gao? He should be at Haguo Temple. Off to the temple again. The 7-day deadline has arrived. I'm going to find young Master Gao right now and see how he plans to bring down the grain price he staked his life on.
The people of Linjiang City are truly doomed. Censor Kui, what happened? Why are the people of Linjiang City doomed? Gao Yang, grandson of Duke Dingguo, has arrived in Linjiang City, and the very first order he issued was to command the 4 major grain merchants not to sell grain below 150 coppers a due. That price alone is enough to crush the people. Gao Yang has the status of Duke Dingguo's grandson, even more powerful than my Si clan. Instead of using his influence to force the grain merchants to lower prices, he's actually driving the price even higher. What a fool. The Empress gave us similar positions. 1 cent to Linjiang, 1 cent to Qingshui, clearly putting us in competition. A spoiled brat who spends his days in brothels dares to be compared to me. This is an utter disgrace to the Kui clan. Spread my order, as censor. The grain price in Qingshui City must drop another 8 coppers. At 82 coppers a due, they can still turn a profit, know when to stop. If they do me this favor, when I return to Feng City, I'll remember this debt. If you won't give it, then we'll each use our own means. I'm just afraid they can't bear the consequences. Censor Cui is truly brilliant, a strike with the rod. Then a sweet date tighten and loosen by turns a paid, that is the way to govern a nation, on behalf of the 50,000 people of Qingshui City. I bow in gratitude to Censor Cui. On one side, Qingshui City's price drops 18 wen, on the other, Linjiang City Bokor's grain at 200 wen per due. Sui Xinghe, am destined to shine across all of Fengcheng.
Master, please hold on. I'll come another day to hear your teachings, Amitabha. Take care, benefactor.
Censor Gao, a full 7 days have passed. Not only has the grain price in Linjiang City not dropped, it has instead kept climbing, ever since you posted that notice.
The grain price has risen court Mao. It is a full 201 per due.
Every day, desperate citizens beg outside the county office. If this continues, the situation will spiral out of control. By then, it'll be too late for anything. Are you really not afraid?
What have the 4 major grain merchants been up to these past few days?
Ever since the notice went up, the 4 major grain merchants have poured in huge sums of silver, buying up at 100 wen per due, frantically sweeping up all the grain. From the smaller merchants, they won't sell even at 150 wen per due. They're hoarding grain right now, waiting for the people to run out of supplies. Then they'll push the price even higher. These people won't sell even at 200 wen per due.
Tomorrow, I'll launch a massive hiring drive to begin renovating the county office and also post a public notice. I will host a grand dragon boat race. Renovate the county office. Dragon boat race, whoever takes first place will be exempt from commercial taxes for 3 years.
Censor Gao, in a year of famine like this, the people can barely survive as it is, and you want to renovate the county office, even host some dragon boat race?
Such extravagant construction, squeezing every last drop of it. Are you trying to drive the people to their deaths?
I'll do as you order. But even if you are the grandson of Duke Dingguo, stirring up trouble this big okape, you can't afford the consequences either.
Young Master Gao, what exactly are you trying to do? If you still won't come clean, I'll have no choice but to take over Linzhong City on your behalf.
Lord Marang, please act now. If the people riot, it will lead to a disaster beyond repair.
These past few days, you've been visiting temples all over town, but I've seen the fervor of believers, and there is none of it in your eyes. You don't believe in Buddha, and renovating the county office makes even less sense. You'll be heading back to Feng City before long. Why bother with a thankless task like this, earning the scorn of the entire city? Letting grain prices skyrocket coughed all of this. Young Master Gao must answer for it today.
That is right. He is going back to Feng City eventually, no matter how reckless he is. He wouldn't do something this pointless, for no reason. Could Gao Yang actually have another plan in mind? Lord Du.
Do you remember what I told you 7 days ago? You said you wanted to lower grain prices?
But lowering them doesn't have to mean forcing them down, desperately.
Yet now prices are soaring, and the merchants are driven by greed. If they don't get a chance to cash in big, how would they ever stop, Lord Du? With the 4 major grain merchants working together, even if the government cracks down hard, how much can they drop the price 8 yen or 18, even if it falls to 80 yen a bushel? How many common folks could actually afford it? Unless you take a cleaver and slaughter them all, fixed board, but that would only send every merchant in the city into a panic. For the common people, 100 yen or 200 yen makes no difference. Either way, they can't afford it. But if you let grain prices soar unchecked, and even have the government decree that grain can't be sold below 150 yen a bushel, what does that attract outside grain merchants? Greed is the nature of merchants. The news of Linzhong City selling grain at sky-high prices has already spread in all directions at a terrifying speed. These past few days, at the city gates and the docks, the carts and cargo ships hauling grain each day have been multiplying by the day. Right now, Linzhong City, we stopped worrying about food shortages long ago. The grain price now, it is like a giant balloon. Looks big, but one poke and it bursts. These merchants are trying to cash in on the nation's crisis. This time, I'll bring their entire families to ruin.
You're renovating the county office.
Hosting a dragon boat race. What is your real play here, County Magistrate Do? You'll find out in due time. I'll only say this much. For the common folk, even at 50 coppers a bushel, that grain price still costs silver to buy.
The people still need silver to buy it. Could all this construction be a work relief program to put silver in the people's hands? Sir, I failed you. Not only am I foolish, I was blind enough to impeach you.
The 4 major grain merchants are deeply entrenched. Who knows how many of their spies are inside the county office? That is why I kept you in the dark all along. The impeachment a few days ago acted as nothing. Don't let it weigh on you.
But, sir, just an hour ago, before I came to see you, I sent another letter of impeachment to Feng Cheng, and it was even harsher in its wording, more heated in its tone.
Du Zheng, you sure work fast.
I'll write a letter right now and send it to Feng Cheng by swift horse. Young Master Gao, no need to worry.
I'm in your debt, Magistrate Murong. Tonight, I'll need you to do one more thing. Take the Imperial Decree and mobilize a garrison unit from outside the city. Use dirt and sandbags, fill sandbags, make sure word doesn't leak out. I have big plans for them.
All right, I'll get on it right away.
Today will be the last hurrah for all the grain merchants of Linzhong City. Tomorrow, I'll show them what true despair looks like. Report victory dispatch from Kingshui City. Grain prices have dropped to 82 coppers a bushel. Top scholar Kui vows he can cut it by another 7. In just 7 days, he has reigned in the profiteers without resorting to extreme measures. Top scholar Kui truly is a pillar of the nation. I humbly request your majesty to reward Inspector Kui Xinghe.
Such measures to stabilize the people should be set as an example for all regions. I second that motion.
We all second it. This Cui Xinghe does have real skill, worthy of greater responsibility.
The great victory at Kingshui City. I wonder what the grain prices are like in the neighboring Linzhong City, under Inspector Gao.
It has been 7 damn days. What the hell are you doing?
Reports. Grain prices in Linzhong City have exceeded 200 coppers per due. The magistrate of Linzhong Du Zhang has sent a second urgent dispatch impeaching Inspector Gao Yang. Is the information reliable? Absolutely certain. This news is from 2 days ago. It is likely even higher now. Gao Yang, what the hell are you playing at? That bastard, is he trying to drag the Duke of Dingguo's estate to the executioner's block with him? Magistrate Du's impeachment states that Inspector Gao not only fails to stabilize grain prices, but burns incense, prays to Buddha, and goes boating every day. And even in the midst of this great calamity, he ordered the county office to be renovated and is hosting a grand dragon boat race on the Qingshui River. Absolutely absurd and outrageous. The people are struggling to survive, yet he dares to squeeze the disaster victims to renovate the government office and hold a dragon boat race. Such a villain, how can I tolerate him?
The Song family calling off the engagement was truly a wise decision. I beg your majesty to severely punish the Duke of Dingguo's grandson, to appease public outrage. I second that. Punish Gao Yang severely.
I second it.
We all second the severe punishment of Gao Yang.
No, this bastard, no matter how reckless he is, would never do something so suicidal. He must be setting something up. Duke of Dingguo.
Your old servant Gao Tianlong kowtows before your majesty.
Rise, Duke of Dingguo.
I came here to say just one thing, whether it is the grain price surge or the renovation of the county office. These are all old news from 2 days ago.
Why is everyone in such a hurry to pass judgment? A couple of days. Lincheng won't fall into chaos.
Can you wait a couple more days? 220 wen. The neighboring Qingshui city only charges 82 wen. Why is lynching so expensive? Yeah, you bloodsucker, you corrupt official, come out and explain yourself. Magistrate to you. You've paced back and forth a dozen times this morning. You're making me dizzy. Sir, the public outrage outside, can you really stay calm? I can't sit still, sir. If we don't open the granaries, they'll tear down the county office gate, sir. The fish are in the trap, time to strike. Sir, we can close the net now. Post the notice immediately. Lincheng's granaries will open fully for grain distribution, selling at 105 wen per due. This notice must spread through every street and alley of Lincheng within half an hour. Lord Murong.
Yes.
From this moment, send troops to take over the docks. No cargo ships are allowed to leave the city. Those who disobey will be executed. The city gates of Lincheng guard them with heavy troops. Not a single grain of rice is allowed to leave.
Sir, I'm a bit worried if we open the granaries. I'm afraid our grain won't be enough. As long as the city's grain merchants hold out for a few days and our granaries sell out, then what do we do? Magistrate Du, have you forgotten?
The disaster relieved grain outside the city. The 4 major grain merchants, Zhao Han and Lin, have dominated Lincheng for a century. They probably know our true situation. Sell first and you profit. Sell late and you go bankrupt. Don't sell. And you eat the losses from grain spoilage and labor costs. If you were in their shoes, Magistrate Du, what would you choose? You can dodge a scheme, but how do you avoid an open play?
You're planning to crush the outside grain merchants and force the 4 major merchants to sell. I'll get right on it. Wait.
Don't sell the granary grain too fast. Make the people line up to buy, register each household one by one. Spread the word further, say the emperor has ordered disaster relief. And shipped millions of carts of grain to Lincheng City. Nothing in my career disgusts me more than grain merchants profiteering off a crisis. The grain ration limit could last 10 days, or maybe half a month. All depends on my mood.
Sir, this plan of yours is ruthless. Those grain merchants are in for a world of pain. The grain prices in Lincheng City are bound to crash.
A rumor like 100,000 carts of grain. Outside merchants probably won't buy it, right?
Outside merchants hauling grain across cities pay their laborers daily for meals and wages. Every day they stall. Their costs skyrocket. Even if they hold out and refuse to sell, hauling it all back is another huge expense. At this point, even the slightest hint of trouble will send them into a panic. The real genius of this trap is the stampede. The first ones to sell still make a profit. The latecomers won't even get a sip.
Young master, you wouldn't one day sell me off and have me counting the money for you, would you?
Do I seem like that kind of man? Give my shoulders a massage. If it doesn't feel good, you better watch out.
Top scholar Kui in Qingshui City tried every trick and could only hold grain prices at 82 wen per due. With Guoyang's one swift move, the grain prices in Lincheng City, just how low will they fall?
Wielding the ancestral blade, sweeping corrupt officials from the land. A true man should live like this.
Husband, don't go.
Once I'm out the door, you head straight back to your family's place, to lay low. There is silver under the mattress. Take it with you.
All of Lincheng City, 100,000 people. Not a single one stepped up. Why do you have to go? Stay for me, please.
Grain prices in Lincheng City have soared to 220 wen per due. Ordinary folks can't afford to eat at all. All of this is because of that corrupt official, only by killing him.
Can grain prices in Lincheng City come down?
Husband, wait. I can't help but feel everything about Lincheng City is too unusual. Can we wait a couple more days? That lord might not be as simple as he appears on the surface.
Jacking up grain prices, profiteering off a disaster, rebuilding the county office, the top playboy of Fengcheng, living up to his name.
In the next life, I'll make it up to you properly.
By order of His Excellency the Censor, post the notice from this moment on. Open the granaries and sell grain, only 105 coppers per due. No purchase limit, the people may line up to buy. What? 105 coppers per due.
It actually dropped.
They're selling grain from the granaries. 105 coppers per due.
We're saved. We're saved.
Opening the granaries. Only 105 coppers per due.
Elder Lin, grain prices in Linjiang City have already hit 220 coppers per due.
Are we still not making a move?
What is the rush? As long as our four great families stay united in cornering the grain market, this windfall should be pushed to at least 250 coppers per due. 250 coppers, we have Censor Gao to thank for that, strictly forbidding the sale of cheap grain. What does he know about governing the country? He probably thinks high prices will make people dump their stock.
He is only shooting himself in the foot. Elderlin, this is bad. The county office just posted a notice, selling grain at 105 coppers per due, cheap grain. The people are lining up, as far as the eye can see. What? That Gao kid fights dirty. He is clearly trying to screw us over.
Elder Lin, what do we do? Years of consecutive disasters. How much grain can Linjiang City's granaries possibly hold? Enough to feed the whole city. This move by the county office is just to force us to panic sell. I underestimated. This Censor Gao from Fengcheng, grain prices in Linjiang City must not fall, since he is opening the granaries. Whatever he puts out, we buy it all up. Let's see how much grain he really has. Our fates are tied together. We follow Elder Lin, we'll stand with Elder Lin.
Sir, some unfamiliar faces have mixed in with the grain buyers. They're buying up grain in bulk. They're also stirring up trouble, claiming the granaries are nearly empty. They're agitating the public. The four great grain merchants must be pulling strings behind this. Grain prices in Linjiang City have plummeted. They're the ones hit hardest. They're trying to clean out the granaries, to keep their monopoly, have prices drop. No, merchants everywhere are holding back, waiting to see. If we let them keep buying like this, the granaries will be empty in no time. Spread the word. Throw the troublemakers out. Slow down the grain sales.
They're just itching to spark a riot. Doing that only plays right into their hands. I've changed my mind. They've got deep pockets since they want to buy it all. Then give it all to them. Yes, sir. Let's see just how much they can swallow. You can't do that, sir. At this rate, within a day, the four great grain merchants will clean us out. Merchants sitting on the sidelines is only natural. Opening the granaries is just the first step. Magistrate Morong, seal the city gates and docks immediately. Order the troops outside the city to escort grain in and store it in the granaries. Anyone who dares approach the convoy will be executed on the spot. We must make sure every citizen sees with their own eyes that the imperial court has an endless supply of grain coming into Linjiang City. You mean too, they'll never be able to buy up all the grain on the market, release the stock?
This token carries the Emperor's authority from this moment on. Seal the city gates. Not a single grain leaves the city. Defy the order, and it is death without mercy.
We obey the imperial decree. Close the gates.
Grain. The Imperial Relief Grain has arrived by Imperial Decree. Guangyang Prefecture has suffered a great disaster. A special allocation of 100,000 carts of grain has been approved for relief. This is the first shipment. There is plenty for everyone. As much as you want.
Long live the sage.
You fool, 100,000 carts of grain.
You think such cheap tricks can fool me? Those carts are loaded with nothing but dirt and sand.
Elder Lin, so what do we do now? The city is sealed off. All the grain merchants outside are panicking. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We have no choice but to tough it out. The grain merchants in the city aren't stupid. They won't buy that nonsense. Raid everything with full force. Once the county granary runs dry, let's see how Goyang plans to clean up this mess. We'll give it everything we've got. Sink or swim together.
Report. More people are buying grain in large batches. If they want it, keep selling. Sell it all. Do as the censor instructed. Magistrate DU, change into plain clothes and come take a stroll with me. The real show is about to begin. You mean, sir, grain prices are about to crash. The stampede has begun. Against the tide, the big four grain merchants are just mantises trying to stop a chariot.
The daily losses alone are a bottomless pit. This is going to kill us.
Add in the shipping costs. My cost is 80 coppers a due. If I sell now, I still make a little. Wait any longer, and I'll lose everything. Sell it all. 93 coppers a due fire sale.
You son of a bitch, no honor among thieves. If the gates stay sealed for 10 or 15 days, it'll all be dead weight in my hands. I'm selling too. 93 coppers a due. In less than a quarter of an hour, it plummeted over 120 coppers, down to 93 coppers. Adio your methods, sir. Leave me in absolute awe.
93 coppers are due in 9 graves. Big dune measure. Magistrate, do you underestimate the stampede effect? These out-of-town grain merchants only fired the first shot in the price war.
You mean, sir, the big 4 grain merchants of Linjiang City haven't started selling yet, but they're solid as a rock. How could they possibly dump their stock?
Magistrate, do remember these words. Sharing wealth is easy, but sharing hardship is hard. Under profit there are no friends. The real crash hadn't even started yet. Under profit there are no friends. The drop in grain prices in Linjiang City is the inevitable trend. No one can stop it.
Your words have been an eye-opener, sir. I'm truly enlightened now. I thank you for your guidance, sir.
Lord Gao's open scheme is truly mind-boggling. First, post a notice forcing high-priced grain sales. Once enough outside grain has come into the city, then open the granaries and release the reserves, forcing them to undercut each other in a panic sell-off. The most brilliant part is, you set the granary price neither too high nor too low. Those who sell first make a killing, those who sell last go bankrupt. What if these outside grain merchants don't panic sell? Then how do you plan to wrap this up?
That is human nature, it simply cannot be suppressed. The 4 major grain merchants of Linjiang City have low costs on their grain, so naturally they're not worried. But these past 7 days, the outside merchants flooding in are different. Some have staked their entire fortunes, hoping to make a huge profit. Some have traveled dozens of miles just to resell, different costs, different circumstances, so they can never be united. Their panic selling is an absolute certainty, even in the worst case scenario. If not a single one sells off, then I'll take this head of mine and offer it to His Majesty an apology. If my head falls, it is just a scar the size of a bowl. What is the big deal? Your ability to stay calm.
Even when Mount Ai collapses before you, I truly admire that, sir.
But then, why has Lord Gao had Imperial guards protecting you, since the very day the notice was posted? And under this robe, you're wearing a layer of armor. Are you sure? It is not because you fear an assassin's attack.
It is more than that. The young master also ordered me to guard you closely, never leaving your side even for a step.
Why you gotta call out the truth like that? The situation in Linjiang City is already set. No need to watch any further. Just sit back and wait for the grain prices to plummet.
Grandson of Duke Dingguo. Interesting. Once this news reaches Fengcheng today, it is bound to shake the entire court.
Sir.
Since the 4 major grain merchants will dump their stock sooner or later, what should we do next? The grain prices in Linjiang City, now that they've already dropped to 93 wen per due, we should have people buy up everything in sight. Then post a notice saying the county granary is well stocked, and cut the price by another 15 wen, just 90 wen per due. I'll see to it right away. This feeling of being a capitalist is intoxicating. If they want to unload, they'll have to go below 90 wen. Grain prices are dropping. Have you all heard? The lowest is now 93 wen per due. Lots of big grain merchants are dumping like crazy. Prices have finally come down.
93 wen per due. That is a full drop of 127 wen. Inspector Gao.
Elder Lin, all you family heads, something terrible has happened. The grain prices in Linjiang City right now. They've already dropped to 93 wen per due. Impossible. None of our 4 families have sold a single grain. We've spent hundreds of thousands of taels buying up stock. How could prices possibly be this low? A few small-time grain dealers, they can't possibly affect the bigger picture. If you dare spout nonsense again, I'll beat you to death myself. It is the outside merchants, sir. These past few days, the city has been flooded with grain merchants from outside. They play by no rules at all. They're dumping massive amounts at this rate of decline. It won't be long before it hits 90 wen per due. Bullshit. Linjiang City has always been dominated by our 4 families, outside merchants, 7 days at inflated prices, then opening the granaries to flood the market.
Gao Yang's scheme is vicious. We've all fallen right into his trap.
I see it now. That little bastard Gao Yang.
He is more cunning and ruthless than I gave him credit for. Elder Lin, what exactly have you figured out? Tell us. I've been hunting eagles my whole life. And in the end, I got my eyes pecked out by one. He posted that notice, forcing grain prices to stay no lower than 150 coppers. You think he really is handing us a fortune out of thin air? Isn't it? A 150 copper windfall. Not just us are eyeing it. Who else will it draw in? Outside grain merchants from the towns around Linjiang City, right? He jacks up the price first, luring outside merchants to flood in. Once there is enough grain, he opens the granaries and dumps it, selling at 105 coppers to crash the market. The joke's on us we didn't see it, and used cold hard cash to buy up every last bit of the county office's old grain. What a poisonous scheme.
So what do we do now? Grain prices in Linjiang City are plummeting. Do we keep hoarding, or dump ours too? Elder Lin, the county office just posted another notice, saying the granaries are full, and the imperial censor, out of compassion for the people, has dropped the price straight to 90 coppers a bushel.
This is gonna kill us.
That is not all. I also saw county office men in plain clothes using the silver we paid for the old grain at 93 coppers, frantically buying up grain on the open market.
He is using our money to buy at 93. Then selling to the people at 90. Back and forth, he still pockets 7 coppers a bushel. Elder Lin, this fight is far from over.
As long as we stand united, hold the line and refuse to sell, those outside merchants, won't last long, prices will climb back to 100 coppers eventually.
Elder Lin speaks wisely. Our 4 families move together, rise and fall together. Not a single grain leaves our hands.
Rest assured, Elder Lin, we're like brothers. We'd never do anything to hurt ourselves for nothing. I'll take my leave.
Elder Lin. I'll head straight to the Lin family shops. Not to copper off. We hold the line to the end. Idiots.
Elder Lin.
I won't sell. But what if they secretly do? Then it is me who goes broke. Strike first, strike hard, hesitate, and you're the one who gets hit.
So what you're saying is,
Don't sell openly. Quietly, sell as fast as we can. For me, dump it at 87 coppers a bushel. This is... Back to the manor, spread the word immediately. All our grain shops drop prices and release stock. We rise and fall together. Anyone who doesn't sell is a fool. We must unload it at top speed.
Master Lin, bad news. The Qian, Han, and Zhao families scanned. They're all dumping like crazy. Each one's price is lower than the last. Those bastards. I knew they couldn't be trusted.
Good thing I kept a card up my sleeve. Pass my order. All Lin family rice shops drop prices to match. Even if we take a loss, we sell it all, no matter what. This battle, I've lost.
80 coppers a bushel. Fire sale.
Reporting to you, sir. Grain prices in Linjiang City have dropped to 90 coppers a bushel. Report prices have fallen to 75 coppers.
In just a few hours, they've plunged 25 coppers.
This tea is quite good.
I understand, sir. When you return to Feng City, I'll prepare some for you. Just a friendly gesture.
No need for tea, just give me the cash. I despise material things. Let's cut to the chase.
Inspector Gao.
Don't be nervous. Magistrate Morong, just a joke.
Still, I'm curious. Without the 4 grain tycoons dumping, prices wouldn't have fallen this fast. Why did they stampede like that?
The 4 tycoons came together for profit, and they'll scatter for profit too. Next year's harvest, good or bad? It is a 50-50 bet, but once grain prices stabilize in Linjiang City, their hoarded old stock won't sell. If next year brings a bumper crop, prices could crash below 30 coppers. They'd rather cut their losses and walk away than gamble on losing everything next year. Strike first, you live, they die. Strike late, they live, you die.
If they secretly collude, and all refuse to sell.
A verbal agreement is nothing but a joke. Everyone will think, I won't sell, what if someone else secretly sells? Linjiang City is only this big, no one can hide anything from anyone. A stampede is inevitable.
I am humbled by your wisdom. Such strategy came from that womanizer's mind.
As an official, one must not only weigh personal gains and losses, proceed with the plan as discussed. Linjiang City will stabilize soon.
You mean renovating the government office?
And hosting a major tournament. The crisis in Linjiang City, what is the root cause? Torrential rains flooding the fields, poor grain harvests. Wrong, it is that the people have lost their source of income after lowering grain prices. What urgently needs to be solved is the people's income. Only by giving the people a way to earn can they survive, otherwise 50 coppers is no different from 250, either way they can't afford it.
Renovating the government office and hosting the tournament is to give the people work and pay them wages. You possess the talent of a prime minister. If His Majesty had your counsel, the great Qi-Jian dynasties would surely prosper. You flatter me, Magistrate.
I'm merely going with the flow, just trying to protect myself. Breaking news, the 4 major grain merchants have completely fallen out. The Qian family was the first to slash grain prices, down to 70 coppers per due, 70 coppers even lower than Qingxi City. My task here is done. You're leaving already, Master Gao. This is a personal letter for the abbot of the city temple. When the government office renovation begins, have someone deliver it. The remaining political achievements, I leave to you. Magistrate 2, remember this. Do not increase wages out of pity for the people. That would backfire. And ruin everything. I will remember every word. Lulu, go pack the luggage.
His Majesty did not set a deadline. Why the rush?
Think about it. Feng City is probably in an uproar by now. Magistrate DU. The out-of-town grain merchants arriving over the past few days, we can squeeze them all out, force them to take a loss. But the grain price can't just keep dropping. It needs to fluctuate. I've written out the method for managing it.
That is ruthless. Those out-of-town traders thought they were coming to mine gold. Turns out it is a trap. Young Master Gao, this is some local tea from Linjiang City.
A small token of my gratitude. Magistrate Du, you're too thoughtful. The road is long and the mountains are high. Feng City awaits your good news. Let's go.
Sir, that wooden box, that is a full 3 years of your salary. Magistrate Morong is watching. 3 years of salary. That is just tea from Linjiang City. I'm an upright man. I've submitted 2 memorials denouncing young Master Gao, which forced him to lower the grain price. And now he has to rush straight back to Feng City if I don't show a little gratitude. Wouldn't that be inhuman? Back to the office. I'm submitting a third memorial to His Majesty to commend young Master Gao.
Those old foxes in Feng City, are you ready for what is coming?
Young Master Gao, Linjiang City tea is only 100 coppers per tile. It is not exactly something precious. Why are you acting so jumpy?
Magistrate Morong, you wouldn't understand. It is the thought that counts.
Wait a minute. What is really in that tea box of yours? Let me see it.
Magistrate Morong, the mountain roads are rough, the carriage is bumpy. Men and women should keep their distance. I'd ask you to show some restraint if you get this close to me, and the carriage jolts. If I happen to touch somewhere I shouldn't, I might just scream.
You'd scream. I get it now. That little speech of yours earlier was deliberately meant to stir up Magistrate Du's guilt. When all you packed was a few changes of clothes, we can leave any time. Yet you dawdled for a whole half hour. You were clearly buying time. For Lord Du to raise the silver, there is no tea in there at all.
Lord Morong, if that is how you see it, then there's nothing I can do. If you think so, then so be it. You comped the eldest Miss Song is absolutely stunning. I heard the Song family has a betrothal with Gao Yang, the eldest son of the Duke of Dingguo. He is getting off easy. Your intel is way out of date.
The Song family already called off the engagement with the Duke's estate. Then, who is she waiting for, out here?
Ching Ching, by my father's orders, am here specially to welcome.
Top scholar Tweakword is he went to Kingshui City and ruled with an iron fist. In just a few days, he drove the grain price from 100 coppers down to 82 coppers per due. Miss Song is here to receive him Freakword, clearly angling for a marriage alliance. She is not giving the Duke of Dingguo's estate a second thought?
Miss Song, coming to greet me. This is truly the greatest honor of my life.
My father has already prepared a welcome banquet for Master Kui. Uncle Tsui is also at our residence, specially hosting a reception in your honor.
Once I report to Her Majesty the Empress, I will head over right away.
Top scholar Kui is back in Chang'an at tomorrow's morning court. Even you, Gao Tianlong, can't stop it tongue in this tide of court politics. I will definitely file an impeachment against you.
That Song family has no respect for my Duke of Dingguo's estate at all. They let that Song Ching Ching publicly welcome Cui Xinghe at the city gates. Absolutely outrageous.
The Song family is just looking up to the powerful. Cui Xinghe did well this time. The Empress needs trusted allies by her side. The Song family betting on him dad that is easy to understand. Her not marrying into the Duke's estate is actually a blessing in disguise.
But Cui Xinghe returning to Chang'an early means Qingshui City is settled. The grain price has at least been driven down to 82 coppers per due. Tomorrow, escort session 1 to be peaceful, I fear.
That wretch Gao Yang Kapoor he left. I warned him again and again. Better not to do it at all than to do it wrong.
How could he have caused such a disaster? Gratifying even the dumbest Wistrel. Even a fool wouldn't do something so absurd. That means Yang Heir is plotting something clever. The entire court knows this. It is just that no one believes it. Even I don't quite believe it. But I admire the spirit. Otherwise, how do you win? That brilliant top scholar of the Kui family, our Duke's mansion, would rather die standing than live kneeling. Rather than fade away in mediocrity, better to fight with everything you've got, like an eagle soaring through the sky. As long as I'm alive, I can always protect the Gao family. Besides, decades of instinct tell me, Yang Heir is no ordinary talent.
The chessboard hasn't even seen its first move. How can we speak of victory or defeat so soon?
Not only has the grain price in Kingshui City been held in check, it has even dropped to 80 coppers per due. Cui Xinghe has not disappointed my trust. But look at Linjiang City while grain prices have been soaring. Not only did Gao Yag rebuild the county office, he also cut taxes for the merchants. Could I have really misjudged him?
Report Lord Morong has sent an urgent letter by fast horse. Lord Du has also sent an urgent memorial. Both require your majesty's personal attention. Bring them up.
My judgment was right after all. Those censors at the Imperial Censorate hoax, they've been giving me grief this whole time. Tomorrow, I'm going to have myself a good vent. All of you dismissed. A drop of 150 coppers in a single day. And it is set to fall to 50 coppers per due. Well, the Duke's grandson indeed. I underestimated you after all.
After all this running around, finally back. This time this young master is going to enjoy himself properly. What do you mean running around?
Young Master Gao is contributing to the greater good. An official should dedicate himself to the people and give his all until the very end. That is the highest honor.
Lord Morong is absolutely right. As long as Lord Morong is happy, that is all that matters. Censor Gao, Lord Morong Cat, His Majesty has decreed. At today's morning court, you two are to be summoned immediately.
You beast. Today, I've lost all face.
His Majesty has arrived.
We pay our respects to your majesty.
Rise, my ministers. Today, I shall reward merit accordingly.
Your Majesty, Champion Scholar Kui has acted with swift and decisive force. In just 7 days, he brought the grain prices in Kingshui City down to 80 win per due. He is truly a man of extraordinary talent. This old minister humbly begs your Majesty to grant him high office.
Your Majesty sought the finest minds in the land using Qingshui and Linjiang as the test. The verdict is now clear. I implore your Majesty to reward the worthy handsomely and punish the unworthy severely.
We concur.
Your Majesty wagered the people of a city as a bet. Opening this contest, you plunged the 100,000 citizens of Linjiang City into a life of misery. Your Majesty, this move was most unwise. You risk losing the people's hearts.
Minister Yan, are you finished?
If Linjiang City remains unchecked and grain prices are allowed to spiral out of control, should a riot break out and sweep across the realm, Your Majesty would be the sinner of the entire nation.
Your Majesty, the soaring grain prices in Linjiang City grieve me deeply, though. I am not the most capable. I am willing to go to Linjiang City to ease Your Majesty's burden and clean up the mess.
Champion Scholar Kui is truly gifted. Champion Scholar Kui cares for the people. He is a true role model for all of us.
Everyone says grain prices in Linjiang are soaring, but I hear otherwise. I'm told the grain prices in Linjiang City have already dropped to 70 wen per due. Grain prices in Linjiang City have fallen to 70 wen per due.
What? 70 wen? That is impossible. Your Majesty, they cannot be. Linjiang City was hit by disaster severely. The grain merchants have banded together, even with force. 90 wen would be the limit. How could it possibly drop to 70 wen?
Wasn't he at over 200 wen just 2 days ago?
This is a memorial from the Linjiang City Government Office, sent by Duzhang overnight with urgent delivery. 2 days ago, the grain prices in Linjiang City plummeted to 70 wen per due in a single day, and they still falling. Gao Yang, grandson of the Duke of Ding, ordered the posting of an official notice, requiring that the price not fall below 150 wen per due for sale, exploiting the greed of merchants to trick all the outside grain dealers into Linjiang City. A pillar of talent, yet you all relentlessly impeach him. It truly breaks my heart.
Raising grain prices to lure outside grain dealers. Once the outside dealers enter the city, then open the granaries and release grain, crashing the grain prices, the outside dealers, to cut their losses, will surely dump their stock, dragging the local dealers into a frantic sell-off. Who would have thought such tactics existed?
Using merchant greed to deceive and lure, then opening the granaries to flood the market. How many grain dealers will be driven to ruin because of this?
Yanger really has been hiding his talents.
70 wen per due. That is far more impressive than Sui Xinghe. Even if he lowered the grain prices, he also ordered the renovation of the county office, and is hosting a grand dragon boat race. That is what Magistrate Du wrote in his memorial, right? In a year of famine. To undertake such massive construction and wasteful extravagance, if that is not exploiting the people, what is?
I ask His Majesty for an explanation.
This question isn't just something Minister Qi is curious about. I'm curious too. Summon Gao Yang, the imperial censor of Linjiang City.
Summon Gao Yang, the imperial censor of Linjiang City, to the court.
Today, that wayward son of mine
actually looks a bit more agreeable. Your subject, Gao Yang, pays respects to Your Majesty.
Rise. The grain prices in Linjiang City plummeted. Your methods are indeed impressive. But Magistrate Du's memorial states you want to renovate the government office and hold a dragon boat race, even exempting the winner from 3 years of commercial taxes. Is that true or not?
To answer Your Majesty, that was indeed my idea. I humbly request Your Majesty's approval.
In a year of famine, when the people can barely find food to eat, you undertake massive construction, squeezing the people's hard-earned wealth. Censor Gao.
Don't you think that is going too far? Oppressing the people is a grave crime. I ask Censor Gao to give the world a convincing justification.
I'd like to ask General Wang and Champion Scholar Kui, even all those court officials who impeached me. One question, the current grain price in Linjiang City, outside grain merchants flooding in. Local grain merchants dumping their stock. It wouldn't be surprising if it dropped to 50 coppers a bushel. But even at 50 coppers a bushel, can every single refugee in this world really afford it? 100 coppers a bushel versus 50 coppers a bushel, for the lowest of the low refugees, makes no difference at all, because they don't even have a single copper to their name. All they can do is wait to die, or wait for the court to send disaster relief. But does the court have that much grain in the national treasury to feed so many refugees? Blindly opening the granaries can only delay the refugees' deaths. The people can't find work, can't earn money. That is the root cause. The real solution is to provide relief through public works. Give the people jobs. Let them earn money. That is the best course of action.
What do you mean by relief through public works? In a year of great disaster, the common people can't afford to buy grain, but they have labor. I ordered the county office renovated not to exploit them, but to show the wealthy merchants that to survive, the people are willing to work for next to nothing. Just give them a little money and a meal, and they'll be grateful. The wealthy merchants follow suit, grain prices stabilize, the refugees survive. That is relief through public works. A fine scheme, this relief through public works.
Even with relief through public works, 10 coppers a day is still treating the people too harshly. That is practically exploitation.
If General Wang doesn't understand the people's plight, he'd do well to keep his mouth shut. A little silence isn't shameful, better than making a fool of yourself.
You little whelp, Gao Yang. How dare you insult me? Are you asking for death?
I'm a man of the Duke Dingguo's household. You old fool don't get to threaten me. With me standing here, you have no right to speak. Yanger, go ahead and speak your mind. It has been dozens of days since you left Fengcheng. Let these pillars of the state hear exactly what you've got up your sleeve.
Understood, grandfather. General Wang, if the government office offers a high wage of 30 coppers a day, the local gentry won't see any profit in it. Why would they follow suit? Are we counting on their charity? When the gentry hire laborers during a famine, all they care about is cheap labor. The government office must play the villain first, drive wages down to the bare minimum, and let the refugees cry out in hardship. Then the gentry, by merely raising wages a little, can earn themselves the reputation of great benefactors, and save a hefty sum of silver to boot, with profit to be made, and fame to be claimed. They'll willingly step into the game.
Gao Yang, your visit to the temple, it wasn't just to burn incense, was it?
Your Majesty is most perceptive. I went to tell the abbot that with labor so cheap during the famine, under the banner of Buddha's compassion and saving the suffering masses, he should hurry to renovate the temple. It saves money.
And wins over the people's hearts they simply couldn't refuse. The government office, the gentry, the temple, all three sides win, and the refugees get money to survive. Profit as the lever, reputation as the bait.
I've lost completely.
Then what about hosting the Grand Dragon Boat Race? What was that for?
I promise that the merchant guild that takes first place gets a 3-year tax exemption that is sure to draw gentry from all over to participate. Once the big event kicks off, the masses will flock in. With that many people, business in food and lodging is bound to boom. It drives consumption and stretches out the season. With all three tactics working together, this crisis can be turned around in the blink of an eye.
Gao Yang, if you do this, do you realize you'll bear the people's scorn?
A little scorn moan if it can save thousands upon thousands of lives. What does it matter? The legacy of the Duke of Dingwall's household, it has always been so.
Censor Gao is truly talented.
A true role model for all of us. Your servant, Yan Zheng, has wronged Censor Gao.
To the point of speaking nonsense. I beg your majesty to punish me.
Of course I will punish you. All of you are well-read scholars, key pillars of the empire. Yet not one of you saw this method for disaster relief. Instead, you repeatedly submitted impeachments. Grand Censor Yan Zheng, General Wang Zhong, the Barbarian Breaker, Minister of Rights Song Li, each shall have 2 months' salary docked as a warning to others.
Your servant accepts the punishment. Your servant obeys.
Gao Yang, you did well in relieving the disaster and lowering grain prices. What reward do you seek?
Your servant wishes to join the Ministry of Revenue to serve the nation.
The Ministry of Revenue?
This little brat, why give up a perfectly good post as Secretariat Drafter? What is he doing going to the Ministry of Revenue?
Gao Yang, grandson of Duke Dingguo, meritorious in lowering grain prices in Linzhong City, granted the post of Assistant Director in the Ministry of Revenue, retaining his position as investigating censor. Sui Xinghe, meritorious in lowering grain prices in Kingshui City, promoted to Secretariat Drafter.
Your servant Gao Yang. Thanks, Your Majesty. Your servant Shui Xing, he thanks Your Majesty. So the Secretariat Drafter post was only mine because Gao Yang turned it down. One day, I will prove to the world that I, Kui Xinghe of the Kuish clan, am no less than him. Why did you turn down the Secretariat Drafter post?
I know you're skilled in commerce.
But that is ultimately a minor pursuit, not comparable to being close to the Empress. That move was rather foolish. Father, grandfather.
You misunderstand. I joined the Ministry of Revenue purely because Father is the Vice Minister of Revenue and the Minister is old and gravely ill. As they say, connections make things easy. I can basically do whatever I want at the Ministry of Revenue. That is the real way to go. Besides, the Secretariat Drafter represents His Majesty's dignity. Can't be reckless there. I've always been a wild one. I like to frequent the finer establishments. Enjoy some tunes, go often enough, and the censorate will inevitably impeach me. My father and grandfather have both been through this. They should understand. Just because of the brothels in Fengcheng, he gave up even the position of Secretariat Drafter. You wretched son, you can't escape a beating today. Why are you getting all flustered and angry?
What is there to chase after? We'll just beat you when we get back to the mansion.
Everything about Linzhong City. Tell me every single detail. Planning strategy from 1,000 miles away from the very first day he arrived in Linzhong City. He had already calculated everything. This Gao Yang really is a talent. Warner, what is your take on this Gao Yang?
This man may have extraordinary talent, but he walks the line between good and evil.
And he is extremely bold. What do you mean by bold? I was standing right beside him, and he actually dared to hint that Lord Du should offer bribes, and I seriously suspect that he deliberately set Lord Du up. Too bad Lord Du is incorruptible. He is probably still in the dark about it right now. Every merchant is cunning, and every official is corrupt. Gao Yang gave Du Zhang a political achievement. Accepting a little something in return is no big deal. Anyone with great talent, I'm not afraid of them being greedy or being lustful. What I fear is someone with no weaknesses. Weaknesses make them easy to control, easy to put to work for me, Your Majesty. Gao Yang's boldness doesn't stop there. He even wanted to look at my legs. This Gao Yang certainly is quite bold. But it is not just with you. Since I ascended the throne, the only one who dared to openly stare at my legs in court is him alone. Hut. He actually dared to openly admire Your Majesty's legs. His eyes should be gouged out for that.
It is fine.
Who wouldn't want to conquer a female emperor? But who actually can?
You wretched son, what are you standing there for?
This is an honor you should be enjoying. I'll settle the score with you later tonight.
I always knew my son had grand ambitions. This Feng Cheng.
It is time for our Li family to show some power. Brother, I want to eat osmanthus flour cakes.
Alright. Just some flour cakes. You can have as many as you want.
Bro, I want something else. Can I have as much as I want? Kane?
You wretched brat. 10 days of house arrest isn't enough. How dare you keep spouting nonsense?
Everyone, disperse, making a fuss over a mere Linjiang city, carrying on like you've topped the imperial exams. If people see this, what a disgrace it would be.
Younger, come with me to the back courtyard. I have something to say.
Grandfather, this little courtyard has nice scenery, but it is only a wall away from outside the estate. Not very safe. Better not stay here too often, I've heard.
You call yourself a strategist with 3 skills: reading people, reading yourself, and reading the world. One who reads himself is a venomous advisor. You, as a venomous advisor, truly live up to reading yourself. Quite cautious indeed. Grandfather flatters me, whether it is the hidden gold in the barren hills at court,
Or the grain supply tactics in Linjiang City, both leave me in awe. Why hide your talents? Grandfather's prestige in the military is unmatched. If I played the fool, it would put many at ease. Otherwise, it'd easily draw suspicion from the late emperor. Your act is almost too convincing. Just like a real fool. I nearly wanted to disown you myself. Alright, I'll come clean. I originally planned to be a fool for life, carefree and happy, but then the new emperor took the throne, and court officials have been eyeing the duke's estate hungrily, so I had no choice but to step up.
That reason is somewhat convincing. Everyone has secrets. I won't pry further. I only want to ask you one thing. What really happened that day? What does grandfather mean?
Don't play dumb with me. I had people look into it. That day, you were drinking and having fun at the Rouge Pavilion, then suddenly you walked out and tore down the Empress's decree seeking talent in public. There must be something behind this.
If you were set up, that grudge must be avenged. It is hard to say. That day at the Rouge Pavilion, why exactly did you tear down His Majesty's decree?
That day, Wu Chong, son of Prince Rong, invited me for a drink. During that time, he used Song Qingqing, the daughter of the Song family, to deliberately provoke me. Your grandson got impulsive and fell for it. Was it an accident, or is it willingly? You, the renowned poison strategist, with a scheme as intricate as a monkey show, and the ability to strike like thunder, to stabilize grain prices in Linjiang City. Yet you fell for a trap out of spite over a woman. If word gets out, it'll be a laughingstock.
This blame of being a lovesick fool, I have no choice but to bear it. Do you know that Miss Song not only publicly called off the engagement, but just yesterday, she personally welcomed Kui Xinghe back to Fengcheng at the city gate?
She broke off the engagement for profit, so naturally she'll cozy up to Cui Xinghe for profit too. If nothing unexpected happens, she'll come looking for me in the next few days. So what do you plan to do?
The whole of Fengcheng is buzzing with rumors that you're quite smitten with the eldest daughter of the Song family. How about marrying her as the matriarch of the Duke of Dingguo's estate?
What is that you see over there? Just an ordinary stick. This stick may be ordinary, but it only takes 3 whacks to break all 3 of your legs.
I was just speaking off the cuff, grandfather. Please don't take it seriously. A woman like that. I won't have the slightest connection with her. And what is more,
I'll make her regret calling off the engagement with the Duke of Dingguo's estate, enjoying tunes and brothels, fine, or reveling in music day and night, whatever. But this Song girl is off limits. That said, Prince Rong is a senior regent minister, wields power across the entire court. Wu Cheng dared to set you up in public. What do you intend to do? Naturally, I'll get my revenge.
without Prince Rong's approval, Wu Cheng would never have dared to scheme against me like that. This shows someone doesn't want the Duke of Dingguo's estate to hold too much power. If I hadn't caught the Empress's eye, the matter of taking down the Imperial notice would have become a knife Prince Rong uses against you. Grandfather, what do you plan to do?
Just go for it boldly. Always remember, the Duke of Dingguo's estate is your backbone from now on in Fengsheng. The court will ultimately belong to you young ones.
I already have a plan in mind. This plan just needs a bit of time to set up. When the time is right, when Prince Rong has no chance of making a comeback.
Prince Rong isn't just the head of the 3 chief regents. His disciples and old allies are spread throughout the court. He also has the Iron Certificate granted by the late Emperor, exempting him from the death penalty. Are you sure you can make sure he never recovers? The Iron Certificate is indeed a bit troublesome, but your grandson has his own ways.
Go ahead and do it boldly. A young man should act like a young man. I'm waiting to see what you've got. A mess of problems everywhere. The Duke of Dingguo's mansion is on the verge of collapse in this treacherous court. There is no way to stay out of it. In my past life I was timid and weak, but now that I've transmigrated, it is time to strike hard. In this ancient world without power and influence, how can you live life to the fullest, Prince Rong?
Whether it is the Song family calling off the engagement, or Prince Rong making his move, I should have been the one standing in front, but the events of these past few days.
Even I can't see through this grandson of mine anymore, a master strategist. I'm waiting to see what you've got. If you can eliminate Prince Rong without shedding a drop of blood, my Duke of Dingguo mansion will thrive for another 100 years.
Young master, your room has been prepared. You can rest now. Wait.
This dress isn't good enough. I'll take you one of these days to buy a nice long gown.
Young master, a long gown costs a pretty penny. This servant.
A mere long gown is nothing. I'm not short on money these days. Green vine. Where's the tea I brought back from Linjiang City?
I did. As you instructed, young master, I put it by the bedside, but right after the Duke called you away. The tea box was taken by the master.
Father, at least this unfilial son of mine has some conscience. He remembered to bring back some local specialties from Linjiang City.
Linjiang City is over 200 li from Fengcheng. My son has been thoughtful.
Son, when did I ever say? That tea was a specialty gift for you, father. You unfilial brat trying to hide it from me. Lord Morong has already sent word.
This tea was specially brought back by you, as a token of filial piety for your old man. Why hide it when you're just showing filial respect? You even had Lady Morong send word for me to come pick it up myself. Morong Wanner, my money. I'll remember this grudge.
I was originally thinking of surprising you, Father. I didn't expect Lady Morong to tell you ahead of time. This tea is precious. Father, be sure to savor it alone.
Filial piety is filial piety, but one thing at a time. Get down and stick that butt up.
Father, what are you doing? You ungrateful brat, you forgot what I told you. You turned down the position of Secretariat Drafter and insisted on rotting away at the Ministry of Revenue. Today I'm going to teach you a lesson. You won't forget. So father came all this way, not to thank me for my filial gesture,
but to whip me. Those two aren't mutually exclusive. Fetch the family rod in Linjiang City. You knew full well how dangerous it was. Why didn't you send someone back to Feng City to let me know? Do you have any idea how much pressure
the entire Duke's estate has been under these past 10 days, and on top of that you clearly have extraordinary talent, yet you insist on hiding it, deliberately playing the part of a useless good-for-nothing. You deserve a beating.
No escaping now.
Bring it on. This kid usually hops around when he is getting hit, jumping over walls to dodge. Why is he so compliant today? The sly fox just willingly sticks his butt out for me to beat. It is all my fault. I'm just too cowardly. Every time I want to bring honor to the family, I'm afraid of messing up and tarnishing the Duke's reputation. And even more afraid of your beating, father. The Secretariat Drafter is a close aide to the Empress. If I could handle it, I'd surely bring pride to mother, but I was scared of the heavy workload and willingly gave it up to that Suishing Hey father. Go ahead and hit me, just beat me to death anyway. My cowardly nature is beyond saving. I don't even want to live anymore. You little rascal, you even dare to peek at the Empress, and you call yourself cowardly.
Yang don't you dare do anything foolish. Mother is here today. You can rest easy.
Husband.
Look at this. Look what you've done to Yang is so timid, he even willingly gave up the position of Secretariat Drafter. You, as his father, are to blame for this. You always say spare the rod, spoil the child. There are so many spoiled brats in Fengcheng which family doesn't beat their kids, and they still turn out to be good for nothings. Gao Feng. If you dare lay a hand on Yang today, and truly drive him to do something desperate, then this marriage is over.
My dear, this ungrateful brat right at the gates of the Golden Throne Hall. That is not what he said. He clearly wanted to go listen to music at the brothel. He was afraid it would tarnish the royal image. That is why he turned down the position. Don't take him seriously.
No wonder he was so quick to turn tail.
Turns out, this brat was using his mother as a pawn. You brat, I'm your father.
And you dare set a trap for me, who was thinking of you from 100 miles away and sent you tea leaves. You ungrateful wretch, such a filial child, and you've pushed him to this point. Even showing filial piety requires Lord Morong's guidance. Gao Feng, don't you think you should reflect on your own problems? If Yang really does something foolish, I won't go on living either.
You brat, you dare scheme against your own father. You just wait. This isn't over. Dear, wait for me. That was close. My ass almost got beaten to a pulp. If I hadn't known he is whipped by his wife, there's no way I'd have escaped that beating today. Now the feud between father and son runs even deeper. I wonder if he heard my line about the precious tea being best enjoyed alone. If he takes the tea box along and shares it with someone else, that thing's filled with silver. Won't that make things even more explosive? Your humble subject, Chen Sheng, from Linjiang. Greetings, young Master Gao. From Linjiang, you followed me all the way to Fengcheng. What is this about? I once made a promise in Linjiang City. If young Master Gao could stabilize the grain prices there, I would pledge my allegiance to him and serve at his side. And what if I hadn't lowered the grain prices? Then I would have traded my life for yours. But you were too cautious, young master, always going out flanked by guards. I never had a chance to strike. I'm not the righteous man you think I am. What if the tasks I ask of you go against your will? Since Chen Sheng has come here, this life belongs to you, young master. As long as it doesn't mean slaughtering the innocent, I'll follow your every command. Interesting, consider yourself hired. 3-month probation period. Salary paid in full during that time probation period. You're a brilliant man, young master.
The 3-month probation is perfectly reasonable. But the salary will have to come from your own pocket. What do you mean, my pocket? The old master is still furious, so naturally it has to come from you, since I'm serving you. Young master, the estate should provide room and board. Fine, room and board it.
Let me check if the magistrate's office has any record on you, and send someone to Linjiang City to verify the facts, since he is serving you. Young master, have his wife and daughter brought to Feng City, as well.
Thank you, young master.
Thank you, steward.
No more brothel visits for me, and now I've got another mouth to feed. I need to find a way to make some money. Morong Wanner, I'll remember this grudge. It is about time. I kept a close eye on that fool Wu Cheng.
The weather in Feng City has been unpredictable lately. One Air, you should take good care of yourself. Don't catch a cold. Your Majesty, I'm fine. It is probably Censor Gao cursing me right now. Why would Gao Yang curse you? I had someone inform Vice Minister of Revenue Gao Feng that Censor Gao had brought him a box of tea leaves from Linjiang City, but felt too embarrassed, so he asked Gao Feng to pick it up from his room himself. Gao Yang is no saint, you pulled a stunt like that on him. You'd better watch your step from now on. A scoundrel like that doesn't scare me. Your Majesty seems troubled by something. I have been on the throne for months now, but the realm is far from peaceful. The feudal lords across the land command their own armies, and have long harbored rebellious intentions. Abolishing the feudal lords is imperative, but it could easily trigger a massive civil war. Guangyang Prefecture suffered a great disaster. Gao Yang's work for relief plan was clever. But merchants aren't fools. They were burned once in Linjiang City. I doubt they'll fall for it again. What infuriates me even more is Prince Rong, the foremost of the 3 chief regents. After arguing with me a few days ago, he claimed illness and refused to attend court. In his eyes, there is not a shred of respect for me, the Empress, with the court in turmoil. How can we even talk about abolishing the lords, let alone the disasters plaguing the realm? And beyond, the Turks are eyeing us hungrily.
The great Qi Tian may seem calm on the surface, but in truth, one move can shake the entire foundation.
Your Majesty, things can be done step by step. Let's take it slowly. Everything will eventually be resolved. The great Qian will, in Your Majesty's hands, usher in a new era.
Urgent dispatch from Liu Wu, governor of Guangzhong, by express relay. Guangzhong has suffered a drought for months. A locust plague has broken out. Millions of people are affected. We beg Your Majesty to provide emergency relief. What? A drought in Guangzhong? And a locust plague?
I just ascended the throne. First, flooding in Guangyang Prefecture. Now, a drought in Guangzhong. Locust eggs are multiplying rapidly in the fertile fields. Is heaven truly trying to destroy my great Chu Tian? A locust plague has erupted in Guangzhong. Governor Liu Wu of Guangzhong has submitted a memorial. If we continue to ignore this, a massive locust swarm is inevitable. When that happens, the land will be barren for 1,000 miles. And corpses will litter the streets when locusts sweep through. Not a single blade of grass will survive. Once it erupts, the disaster will be absolutely devastating. Issue the order. Summon all 3rd rank and above ministers to the imperial study immediately. I'm giving them only a quarter of an hour. Anyone who doesn't show up will face the consequences. Yes, Your Majesty. Wait. Also summon the grandson of Duke Ding, Ga Yang, the vice director of the Revenue Bureau. Come listen in. As you command.
A big push in Fengzheng, a massive city of millions. Backward and poor. That means there's a fortune to be made. Sir, where are we headed? Scouting the ground to the Prince Rong residence.
Scouting. The young master's out with a crowd. Wu Cheng, the one who screwed me over, the mastermind behind tearing down the recruitment notice. What are your orders, sir?
Keep an eye on him these next few days. Whenever he steps out, you tail him, learn his daily routine. Any problem? Rest assured, sir. Stalking and killing. I'm above average at both. Go.
Those girls on Jiao Street. Why do they look at me so strangely? Probably scared you're stalking them. Knock them out and take them at night, or drug them and take advantage, or kill their husbands first.
Do I really look like that vicious a person? That is how you all see me. You wouldn't know, young master. Ever since your monkey show at court.
And how you used your tricks in Linjiang City to bring down the 4 grain tycoons. Now the people of Fengzheng fear you like a tiger, terrified at the very mention. You could have phrased that more gently.
Waiter, check please. Sir, that'll be 103 coins. Forgot the silver Dujang gave me. Dad took it all. I'm flat broke right now. Joda, settle the bill. The young master of the Duke Dingo estate, dining and dashing. Awkward.
With skills and talent like Gao Yang's, calling off that engagement was a huge mistake. He is in a tight spot now. If he comes over to chat and ask for help, I'll go with the flow. Give him an easy way out. Keep him close, for now.
Miss Song, what a coincidence.
Young Master Gao, is something the matter?
I told you I knew Miss Song, but this servant of mine wouldn't believe it. The Song family are high-ranking officials at court. Would they be short on money? Miss Song, about the bill. You, that young gentleman needs to settle a bill of 103 wen.
Will Miss Song pay now? Or later?
What has happened in the capital now?
Gao Yang, where did you run off to? Do you have any idea how long I waited for you? How many people I sent to find you?
What is going on in the capital?
There is a locust plague threat in Guangzhou. The Emperor has summoned us, ordering all officials of the 3rd rank and above, plus you, to enter the palace together to discuss countermeasures. Come with me to the palace at once.
The locust plague in Guangzhou.
My ministers have deliberated for a long time. Is there still no solution? All the pillars of my empire are gathered here. Is there truly no way to resolve this?
Your Majesty, locust plagues have never been preventable since ancient times. This is heaven's punishment. There is truly no way to avoid it. In this old minister's view, the court can only stockpile grain and ship it to the Guangzhou region ahead of time to prepare for the worst.
Heaven's punishment? Chancellor, are you suggesting that because I ascended the throne, heaven does not accept a woman as emperor, and thus has deliberately sent down this punishment as retribution against me? This old minister would never dare. The Guangzhou region has millions of common folk. Once the locusts ravage the land, the people will surely be left destitute. If any of you have good strategies, speak up. I will surely reward you handsomely.
Locust plagues have always been accompanied by rebellion since ancient times. This old minister believes, besides requisitioning grain, we should also mobilize nearby troops and make preparations in advance to prevent the refugees from revolting and suppress them promptly.
Your Majesty, the locusts haven't erupted on a large scale yet. If we send troops directly into Guangzhou, it might backfire.
Moreover, once the army mobilizes, the grain supply is also no small expense. Rather than this, better to focus all efforts on disaster relief.
Minister Gao is right. It hasn't reached the point of sending troops to suppress.
Since my method won't work, may I ask what brilliant plan Minister Gao has?
I have no solution at the moment, but resorting to force alone is absolutely a foolish move.
You. Enough. I summoned you all to find solutions, not to bicker. Kui Xinghe, do you have any good ideas?
Your Majesty, locust plague have never been stopped since ancient times, according to Governor Lu's report. Adult locusts have already appeared. The fertile fields are full of eggs, and they've burrowed deep into the soil, impossible to eradicate completely. For now, we can only prepare for disaster relief.
Top Scholar Kui speaks the truth. This is a natural disaster. Human effort alone can never stop it. We should provide relief promptly.
Every locust plague has been hell on earth. Once the swarm passes through, the people harvest nothing and can only starve to death, with so many victims. How can they survive on government relief alone?
Gao Yang, you little brat, what are you doing here? Hemph, a court session like this, a 6th rank official like you has no right to attend.
Gao Yang. There's a drought in Guangzhou. Locust eggs are spreading everywhere. A locust plague may be coming. Do you have a solution?
Your Majesty, this snot-nosed kid probably hasn't even seen a locust plague before. How could he possibly have a solution? If he actually has a solution, I'll lick every latrin in Fengcheng clean.
General Wang, a man's word is worth more than gold? Then it is settled. I have a plan that could wipe out every locust in Guangzhou. I have a strategy that can solve the locust plague in Guangzhou. You ungrateful brat, stop talking nonsense. The locust plague in Guangzhou affects 1 million people. This is no place for your recklessness.
Step back. Gao Yang, if you have a solution, speak up boldly. No need to worry about the consequences. I and my ministers will weigh the matter ourselves.
Your Majesty, you heard what General Wang said. I humbly ask you to bear witness.
I heard it. Rest assured. What matters most now is the locust plague in Guangzhou.
In that case, I will boldly offer a few humble suggestions. But before that, I must confirm something. In the report from the governor of Guangzhou, has the locust plague already broken out, or are there only massive numbers of eggs?
Right now, they're just eggs. It hasn't fully erupted yet, but the numbers must be staggering.
Lord Gao, a massive number of eggs will inevitably lead to a locust plague, and the eggs are buried deep in the soil, making them hard to eradicate. What is the difference between the two? Top Scholar Kui, you wouldn't know this. The difference is enormous if locusts blot out the sky. Then all we can do is provide disaster relief. But if they're just eggs, then there is plenty of room to maneuver.
I have 3 strategies. Deploy all 3 at once, and we can greatly delay the locust plague in Guangzhou. The first strategy? Capture.
How do we capture?
The court issues an imperial decree, ordering the people to catch locusts in the fields. They exchange them for grain at a set rate. Once this decree is out, the people will spring into action.
I thought Lord Gao had some brilliant plan. Turns out it is nothing but a laughable scheme. What is so laughable about it? You've never seen a locust plague. Locusts in the fields are hard to catch. How is the court supposed to set the exchange rate? If the rate is too low, the grain they get won't cover the energy spent catching locusts. If the rate is too high, the court spends a massive amount of grain. What use are those damn locusts anyway, Your Majesty?
My foolish son has never seen a locust plague, and he has spouted such an embarrassing plan. I beg Your Majesty to forgive him.
Locust plagues have been unsolvable since ancient times. Anyone who can offer a plan should be encouraged. Gaiyang, your plan is indeed flawed. The court is under enormous pressure trading locusts for grain. Besides, locusts are completely useless.
Your Majesty, who says locusts are useless? This mouth is tougher than my old spear.
Gaiyang, what is your second plan?
My second plan is eat them. Take all the collected locusts, grill them and dry them in the sun. They taste like flying shrimp. They can be sold as food. The people will be willing to catch them. The money the court makes from selling locusts can then cover the grain expenses. Why not do it?
Your Majesty, this plan absolutely cannot work. It is a plan that harms the people.
Why?
I have read extensively. In past great disasters, starving people would eat locusts. But if they ate too many, they all developed diarrhea. This is enough to prove. Locusts are toxic. They absolutely cannot be eaten. Top scholar Kui is absolutely right.
When I served as governor in Qingzhou,
I saw it with my own eyes. The people who ate locusts all suffered from physical discomfort. This is a way to harm the people, Your Majesty.
Gao Yang has done nothing but offer bad ideas. Please have him thrown out. If we actually follow his advice, the consequences would be disastrous. Premier Shu, are you certain of this?
I stake my head on it. Locusts are toxic. This plan is bound to fail.
This plan harms the people, Minister Gao. I admit you have great talent, but this plan simply won't work. In every locust plague in history, none was ever resolved by eating them.
Minister Kui, you're right. But you're also wrong. Locusts across the land come in two main types, solitary and gregarious, before a locust plague breaks out. They are entirely green. At that stage, locusts are non-toxic. Their meat is tender and fresh. Once fried, they look just like flying shrimp, but once locusts swarm the skies, turning gray, black, and yellow, they become aggressive. That will produce toxins. What Lord Cece and Prime Minister Shu mentioned that locusts are poisonous spot refers to this swarming type of locust.
Green locusts aren't just non-toxic. They're actually delicious.
Exactly. Right now, the locust plague hasn't hit Guangzhou yet. We can absolutely encourage the people to catch green locusts as food and prevent a full-blown outbreak. Our Great Gan has a huge population. There will always be adventurous eaters willing to give it a try.
This is absurd. If locusts are green, how could they possibly turn gray-black? Your Majesty, the Duke of Dingguo's grandson is spouting nonsense, spreading rumors to mislead the public. I beg Your Majesty to punish him severely.
Lord Chui locusts do have two forms.
Your Majesty, locusts indeed come in both green and gray-black varieties. When a locust plague erupts, they are indeed gray-black. But the claim about toxicity and color change at Vaughn, there is no evidence to support that. I find this whole matter ridiculous. It simply can't be true.
For the sake of the people, I am willing to serve the nation. As for the green locust caught, I'll personally test them for poison. The more, the better. And you can sell them to me at a low price. I'll find a way to move them. These non-toxic locusts, once fried up, are absolutely delicious, and I can make a nice profit on the side, plus score some goodwill.
I sure win with no downside.
Lord Gao, this matter concerns 1 million people in Guangzhou.
If anything goes wrong.
Never mind you. Even the entire Dingguo estate couldn't bear the consequences.
Choose your words carefully. Your Majesty, the Dingguo estate is willing to stake our house and land deeds as collateral. We'll buy up locusts at a low price to ease the strain on the treasury. My son finally amounts to something late in life called as his father. Of course I should support him. If they do turn out to be toxic, then consider the money a contribution to the nation. After all, Your Majesty wouldn't just stand by and watch the Dingguo estate starve.
The Dingguo estate is betting everything we've got. Minister Gao, have you thought this through?
The old man is really going all in this time. When we get back, I definitely need to buy him some oranges.
Since none of the ministers have a solution, then we'll go with Gao Yang's plan. Some things you only know the outcome by doing them. As for the losses, they'll come out of my personal treasury. I won't let my ministers bear the burden alone. Personal treasury.
The Empress's private savings.
That almost gave me a scare. Your Majesty, Minister Gao, even though the green locusts aren't poisonous, the Central Plains are full of eggs. These must be social poisonous locusts. Then how do we solve this?
Exactly. If we don't deal with the eggs, the locust plague will still blot out the sky.
I have a third strategy. Biological control. Natural enemies countering each other. Minister Gao, this biological control you mentioned, what does it mean? This method is unheard of. All things in the world are interdependent and counter each other, whether it is locusts or any other animal, they all have natural enemies. For example, rats fear cats, rabbits fear snakes, and insects fear frogs. In any given place, if one species starts to explode in numbers, it is because it has too few natural enemies. Locusts may be strange, but they can't escape this rule. Biological control is based on this idea.
This approach is quite interesting. Maybe it really can resolve the crisis in the Central Plains.
Your Majesty, may I have a sip of water? I came in such a hurry, my mouth is a bit dry. It'll also help me sort out my thoughts. You brat, talk first, then drink.
Bring some tea.
Good tea.
Gao Yang, if you like this tea, I'll give you some later. Now hurry up and tell us, how exactly do we carry out this biological control?
A locust plague forms under two conditions. First, a large enough population. Second, they gather together. This is closely related to the weather. No snow in winter. The insect eggs didn't freeze to death. No rain in spring. The land turned dry, they thrive in dry conditions, but the birds that prey on locusts in the wild can barely survive the drought. Fewer natural predators, favorable environment. These are the perfect conditions for a locust plague. A single chicken or duck can eat hundreds of locusts a day. 50,000 of them could eat 50 million in a single day. Even if that is the ideal scenario, I'll cut that estimate in half. That is still over 10 million a day. At minimum, over 100 million in 10 days. Even several hundred million. Right now, the locusts haven't grown yet. They're still eggs. Just a few days and we can drastically reduce their numbers. Even if a full-blown plague still breaks out, with tens of millions or even hundreds of millions fewer locusts, the damage will be greatly reduced. I call this method biological control.
That useless playboy I never took seriously. Turns out he's been hiding this much depth. This method is definitely worth trying. Using chickens and ducks to fight locusts.
Biological control, deploying poultry against the locusts. This is a great approach. But why is it that in all our dynasty's history, no one ever thought of this?
Your Majesty, by all logic, this shouldn't be the case. If chickens and ducks eat locusts, how has no minister proposed this in centuries?
Prime Minister Shu makes a fair point. But I've explained the reason before. Solitary locusts. Once a plague erupts, these swarming locusts become toxic. Not only will chickens and ducks refuse them, even birds won't eat them. No matter how hungry, they'll barely touch them. But locust larvae are different for chickens and ducks. They're a gift from heaven. So a locust plague can only be prevented. Once it sweeps in like a dark cloud, there are very few ways to fight it.
Your Majesty, what Gao Yang said is too far-fetched. Solitary ones are harmless, but swarming ones become toxic. That is pure nonsense. Your Majesty, this is truly unheard of.
We should be cautious. I stake my head on it. Everything I've said is the truth.
Since ancient times, there has been no way to stop locust plagues. When I was still young, I often heard of years of drought across the land with crops and grass withering away, and locust swarms rising everywhere, leaving the people with no means to survive. It breaks my heart. This time, I will take a gamble and adopt the method proposed by Gao Yang, the Vice Director of the Ministry of Revenue, to try biological control, whatever consequences may come. I am the ruler of the Great Qixian, and I will bear them all myself.
Your Majesty, but there is still one major difficulty. The land of Guanzhong is vast. I fear that beyond the areas reported by Governor Liu, there are still countless locusts lurking if the chickens and ducks can't find them. What are we to do? That is not hard.
Locusts are resistant to heat and drought and prefer to lay their eggs in soil. This is also why after a great drought, locust plagues tend to erupt easily. Their favorite breeding grounds are hard, dry wastelands, ideally with some moisture in the soil.
When the land is parched and lakes and rivers dry up, those become paradise for locusts to lay eggs.
A single female locust can lay about 300 eggs in its lifetime. This is also the root cause of locust swarms blotting out the sky and covering the sun, so we should focus on checking those areas, offer rewards for the people to report them, and then sweep through with our army of chickens and ducks. The crisis in Guangzhong can be resolved. Is this still my Gao Feng's plan? Are you sure you're not a mole from the Locust clan?
Exactly right. Locusts do indeed love the wastelands left after river waters recede, but only a true scholar would know that. How do you know this? It is all thanks to an old Taoist master I once met, with an immortal air about him, who gave me an ancient text. After consulting historical records, I can say with certainty, it is absolutely true. I beg your Majesty to send relief immediately.
Gao Yang, go at once and invite this old Taoist master here. I will honor him with the rights of national preceptor.
Your Majesty, I only met him once. He may have already passed away.
Never mind. Since the old immortal passed his legacy to you, then you shall go to Guangzhong to lead the relief efforts.
Your Majesty, please wait. I am but a strategist, not skilled in military affairs, leading 50,000 chickens and ducks. I fear I am not up to the task.
Then, in your view, what should be done?
In my view, the one to lead this disaster relief should be a fierce general with a stellar record. General Wang is versed in both letters and arms, and knows locust habits inside out, with him commanding 50,000 ducks and chickens. Victory is all but assured. How dare you, you little whelp? Your Majesty.
The Duke of Dingguo's grandson is right. Deploying chickens is like deploying troops. With the locust plague at hand, General Wang is indeed the best choice. Your Majesty, this old servant.
Issue the decree. Immediately elevate General Wang Zhong, breaker of the barbarians,
to Grand General of the Feathered Cavalry. Urgently requisition chickens and ducks from Fengcheng at market price, and rush to Guangzhong to combat the plague.
I obey Your Majesty's command.
Gao Yang's plan is sound. But if locusts descend like a dark cloud, are you implying you have a backup plan?
Indeed, if the locust plague erupts on a massive scale, my next move is to predict their path of travel, use one region's grain as bait, add flammable materials, and burn them all in one great fire, burning the locusts.
Lord Gao, your plan defies the will of heaven. That great fire would destroy all the grain.
Is that not too cruel? After the locusts ravage the land, famine and death will be everywhere.
And the people will be left with nothing, Lord Song.
Aren't those common folk suffering enough? The locust plague has left our people starving stiff air. They deserve no pity. I support the fire attack.
Your Majesty, I have one concern. Lord Gao's plan is sound, but the hard part isn't just the insects, Samar. It is the people's hearts speak plainly. Censor Yan, the common folk have always believed that locust plagues are heaven's great calamity. They'll even kneel and kowtow, begging the locusts to leave. if the people aren't united.
Our efforts to wipe out the locusts will amount to little, Your Majesty. Let alone the common folk among. Even some officials believe the locust plague is heaven's punishment, beyond human power to stop. This is also a major reason why the locust plagues have been so severe over the years.
Gao Yang, do you have a way to change people's minds? Your Majesty, of course I have a way.
It is just.
Forget it, forget it. I'd better not say if the locust eradication is a bit less effective, so be it.
Gao Yang, this concerns 1 million people in Guangzhong. Speak your mind freely. Why hold back?
Master Gao having a solution but staying silent is a crime of deceiving the Emperor. It warrants severe punishment. Your Majesty, you all forced me to say this. Please forgive me.
Speak now. I absolve you of all guilt.
The people's fear comes from the unknown. It comes from heaven. To break this deadlock, Your Majesty only needs to eat a locust in public. And then burn a batch of locusts in public. Tell the people these are just pests, not heaven's punishment. Once the people's perception changes, they will naturally throw themselves into eradicating the locusts. Gao Yang, you have some nerve. Locusts are filthy creatures. How dare you suggest the Emperor eat one? That is a capital offense. Locusts are pests. The Emperor is the son of heaven, supreme above all. How could he eat one? I beg Your Majesty to punish him severely. Your Majesty, Gao Yang's intentions are treasonous. He must not be shown any mercy. You reckless brat. Stop your nonsense. Calling yourself the Locust Reaper is one thing. But now you want to get our entire clan executed?
Have me eat a locust myself. The very thought makes me sick.
Your Majesty, the people worship the locust immortal. They believe the plague is heaven's punishment. They only dare kneel and kowtow. They wouldn't dare lift a finger against the locusts. The people's belief must be shattered. Otherwise, the consequences would be unthinkable.
The 1 million people of Guangzhong are all my subjects. If I don't eat it, the people will be left destitute.
Nonsense. You're clearly being disrespectful. Enough.
For the sake of the people of this realm, I'm willing to eat locusts in public.
This Empress does care about her people.
But, Your Majesty, Guangzhong is far from Fengcheng. The court is not yet stable. Your Majesty must not leave Fengcheng, Gaoyang. I need to hold court in Fengcheng. I can't go to Guangzhong in person. Is there another way?
I did overlook that point. This is quite a dilemma. If Your Majesty cannot go, and the people refuse to act, I fear the 3 surrounding prefectures, with millions of people, will not escape disaster.
Something's off. This isn't like Gaoyang's style. What scheme is that brat cooking up?
You little whelp, why are you staring at me? I have another plan. Since Your Majesty cannot go in person, let General Wang Zhang hold the imperial decree. As if Your Majesty were there in person, then General Wang in front of the people eats the locusts, claiming to be the reincarnation of the locust vanquisher immortal. All the blame for locust eradication falls on him, but locusts are ugly and unpleasant. I wonder if General Wang would be willing. Damn it all.
The Emperor already said he'd eat them. If I dare say I'm unwilling, I'd be drowned in spit. General Wang is advanced in years. Well, for the people of Guangzhong, I will not shirk my duty. A few locusts. Your Majesty need not worry. Once I reach Guangzhong, I'll eat a pound with my wine first.
General Wang is truly a great general. I am deeply moved. When you return, I will personally host a welcome feast for you.
I thank Your Majesty for your grace. He knew Your Majesty couldn't leave the capital.
He deliberately brought up eating locusts to provoke our outrage, then shifted the blame onto Wang Zheng.
It is all part of Goyong's scheme. If General Wang finds it too much, I have a more suitable candidate in mind. Let's hear it. Such as Prince Rong, or any of the feudal lords across the realm, even Minister Morong by Your Majesty's side, going in Your Majesty's place, would be acceptable.
Eat locusts. He is getting back at me for this.
No need. I, Wang Zhong, am more than enough alone. Old General Wang on this journey. It concerns 1 million lives in Guangzhong. The grievances along the way, I am fully aware of them. Once you return in triumph, I will surely reward you handsomely. This minister thanks Your Majesty. I will not fail. Your grace dismissed. All departments, give your full support. The rest of you, leave. The Secretary of Revenue stays.
You little whelp. I've got my eye on you.
I will have my revenge. Mark my words. Your subordinate, Gao Yang, wishes General Piaoqi a triumphant return.
Old General Wang, this is a fighting rooster. Go easy on it, please. By imperial decree, not a single chicken or duck in Fengcheng is to be spared. A fighting rooster is still a chicken, even more combat ready. Take it away. I raised you for 2.5 years.
Because you clucked every day. I named you brother. Brother, I can't lose you.
Gao Yang, you've got some nerve.
What crime have I committed? The bet was old General Wang's own idea, and eating the locusts was his doing too. Everything I did was for the Empire. And for Your Majesty.
So you're saying I've wronged you?
Where did I go wrong? I don't know. But I do know prawn if your majesty says I'm wrong. Then I must be wrong.
You're a smart man. I won't say more. Old General Wang was in the wrong first. Consider this even. But he is advanced in years, and he has already paid a heavy price. Some things should stop while they're ahead.
I've always respected my elders. I won't make things hard for him.
Do you know why I'm seeing you alone? Why is that?
I'd guess Pramonid is about the 50,000 chickens and ducks.
Right, requisitioning was simple. But after the locust plague in Guanzhong, if all 50,000 are dumped into Fengsheng, prices are bound to plummet. They can't all be kept in the palace.
That is no problem. The folks in Fengsheng don't feed them much. The chickens and ducks are skinny, but once they're in Guangzhong, there is no shortage of locusts. Every one of them will be plump and hearty. I made it a point to emphasize a registered requisition. In truth, it is a loan. Trading skinny for fat is no loss.
And what about the surplus?
Before word spreads that Fengsheng's been bought out, your majesty should send men to nearby cities at once to buy up stock at low prices. If the disaster is severe, send it to Guangzhong. If it is mild, the wealthy households crave wild game. So sell it to them at a premium. Either way, it is pure profit.
Brilliant. This plan is excellent. Do as Guiyang said. Send men out immediately. Do you think this locust plague is truly a punishment from heaven?
Nonsense. It is merely a biological phenomenon.
I don't believe in divine punishment either. I believe man can conquer nature.
But I must remind your majesty, biological control and human intervention can only lessen the damage of the plague. The real threat has never been the locusts. Then what is it? It is the total crop failure that follows. Your majesty must prepare for disaster relief.
After years of drought and poor harvests, the granaries are already running low. Guangzhong has millions of people. Once the locust plague hits, relying solely on the state granaries is like trying to put out a blaze with a cup of water. This catastrophe will inevitably claim many lives.
Your majesty, I do have a few ideas. If they work, far fewer people will die.
Lord Goyang, a word spoken before the emperor is no joke. Are you certain?
I have full confidence. My methods play on human nature. Your majesty can provide relief, but send a notorious corrupt official to oversee it. Preferably one who has been demoted.
Sending a corrupt official to handle relief. Wouldn't that just let them embezzle freely?
Lord Shengguan, you're mistaken there. A corrupt official may be greedy, but that doesn't mean they're incompetent. As long as your majesty entrusts this matter, his career and his life are on the line, then the plan is set. Handle the relief well, and he gets promoted, fail at it, and he is dead. Precisely because he is greedy enough, who among his subordinates bribed him and who is corrupt, he knows it all too well for his career and to keep his family alive. That corrupt official will rack his brains. Who knows, he might even come up with some crooked scheme that actually saves people. If necessary, your majesty can have a trusted aide take over the relief efforts. Then, in that corrupt official's name, leak word that the refugees are being buried alive. The great clans of the realm value their reputations above all. Once they hear this, they'll all rush to donate money for relief, just to win themselves a good name. With both prongs in play, the disaster situation will be greatly alleviated. Afterward, your majesty can feign fury and have that corrupt official executed on the spot, just to appease the people.
Goyang, you have truly impressed me today. This plan is brilliant. At tomorrow's morning court, I will announce this strategy. Let's see how these corrupt officials try to line their pockets after this. Goyang, first you gave me the brilliant locust eradication plan, and now you propose this relief strategy. What reward do you want?
Your majesty, this minister would be too embarrassed to ask.
Since Minister Gao is so modest, then let's pretend I never offered.
No, your majesty. Your word is law. You can't take it back.
Then tell me what you want. I always reward merit. I would never shortchange a great minister's contributions.
Then this minister would like a token. Just to keep myself safe these next few days. All of this is thanks to Lady Marong between me and Minister Du. It was just normal social courtesy, but she twisted it into something criminal. My father still hasn't opened that tea box. I'm afraid that without a token to protect me, I'll never see your majesty again.
You truly live up to your reputation as the poison-tongued strategist. Cautious indeed. This is my personal token. Whoever bears this token is as if I were there in person. Tell Vice Minister Gao, the boy has grown up. He is now a pillar of the realm. Any more hits, and it won't be right.
Your servant thanks your majesty.
You may leave. I am weary.
Your servant takes his leave.
Prince Rong has been resting for so many days now. Send an imperial physician to check on him shortly. If he is about recovered, he should return to court tomorrow. The corrupt officials across the realm say a good deal of silver has flowed into his mansion. Now that I have a clever plan in mind, if I don't get to see the look on his face, it would be far too dull. Yes. The Duke of Dingguo's grandson, mate, he has hidden himself well. Even I was fooled. Your Majesty thinks highly of this Gao Yang with his talent. He could serve as our great Qian's prime minister. Even Xu Xinghe and Minister Shu combined would fall slightly short. But this man's strengths and weaknesses are both glaring. His strength is reading people, a talent that stuns the world. Your Majesty, and his weakness? Greedy for wealth and lust. He's got it all covered. In the past few hours, just now, he glanced at you 25 times, but at me, a full 173 times.
His Majesty summoned you alone, acquired it as the highest honor.
You didn't do anything disrespectful, did you? Rest assured, Father, I kept my eyes straight ahead the entire time. Absolutely no disrespect. His Majesty is the Empress of Great Qin.
As subjects, we must hold reverence. The allure of this empresshood, I know it well, Father, but don't harbor thoughts you shouldn't have. Otherwise, not just you alone feed the entire Duke of Dingguo's household. Would Conrad, I know where the line is.
Your counterattack this time was indeed brilliant, but the matter with the Grand General of Cavalry and Wang Zhang eating locusts.
Your methods were too extreme. I fear this will become a fight to the death. Father, do you think Wang Zhang, in repeatedly impeaching me at court, stands alone behind it all? You mean Wang Zhang is backed by Prince Rong? From the moment Wu Cheng set me up, this struggle had already begun. The matter of me accepting the edict seeking the worthy Fin there is no way they didn't know. Grandfather sits in the Duke of Dingguo's mansion. Court officials have to show some respect after all, but starting from Linjiang City, the impeachments against me and against the Duke of Dingguo's estate came one after another, aside from a few upright censors. The rest were all Prince Rong's men. But why would Prince Rong be so blatant? The answer is simple: to make an example of the Duke of Dingguo's estate, force court officials to pick sides, and then threaten the throne itself. Father, this storm has long passed the point of no return. Wang Zhang going to Guanzhong is a good thing. If I took on this assignment, Prince Rong would surely sabotage it behind the scenes. But with Wang Zhang going instead, the imperial decree will go through smoothly. Does your grandfather know about this? Grandfather told father to give me some silver.
To take down Prince Rong, I'll have it sent over shortly. This matter concerns the Duke of Dingguo's estate. Use your own judgment. Thank you, Father.
Young master, you're back. This letter is for me. Don't tell me it is from Song Qingqing. The young master's foresight is unmatched. It was indeed sent by Miss Song.
Ga Yang, the old you was too much of a playboy. No wonder I called off the engagement. You can't force feelings, but you're a decent person. If we can't be lovers, we can still be friends.
Tell her, at the place where we first met, I'll be there, no matter what. This old servant will prepare the carriage right away. Why would I need a carriage? Aren't you going to meet her, young master? Meet her? Forget it. It is already dark out. Skip sleep to go on a date? That is insane. Feed it to the dogs. Hurry up and do as the young master says.
Young master, technician number 98, green vine, at your service.
Ah, that feels good. With looks like this and skills like this, in the modern world, this would cost a few thousand at least. If only she'd wear some black stockings and a miniskirt, it'd be perfect. Wait a second. Could I open a spa in Feng City? The moment this spa model launches SUV, that would put the 4 great towers to shame. Looks like I need to pay a visit tomorrow. The biggest brothel in Fengcheng. The Rouge Pavilion.
Miss, it is almost dark. Young Master Gao probably isn't coming. I wrote him a letter myself. Knowing Gao Yang's nature, he'll treasure this letter like gold. There is no way he won't come.
Father,
Yanger is plotting against Prince Rong. Are we really not going to get involved? What is wrong with that? Prince Rong holds immense power at court. Countless followers flock to his banner. Yanger may be skilled in scheming, but to bring down Prince Rong, that is no easy feat. After all, in court politics, one wrong move, and the whole game is lost. Yanger can't afford to be careless.
Prince Rong has been stepping all over our Duke of Dingguo estate, right to our faces. Are we supposed to just keep swallowing it?
Father, that is not what I meant. I'm just a little worried. You're underestimating Yangar. Once is a coincidence, twice is an accident. But he caught the Emperor's eye, solved the locust plague in Guanzhong, and drove out Wang Zhang with skills like that. He is already a match for those old foxes at court now that I'm still here. To back him up, it is the perfect time to test Yanger's abilities. This is exactly what I've been hoping for. Then I'll go to the estate and send over 1,000 tiles of silver. Wait, what is the silver for? Didn't you tell me, Father, to send some silver to Yanger to deal with Prince Rong's mansion?
I never said that. That little rascal.
He even lies to his own father.
Forget it. If he wants it, give it to him. As long as he doesn't spend it on that song girl, then it is all fine.
But I'm afraid that rascal will take the money straight to the Rouge Pavilion. A man who never indulges is a man who never lived. Going to the Rouge Pavilion is fine. Better yet, lose his virginity, taste what it is like, that way he'll be even less bewitched by that little song girl. Father, I'll make the arrangements right away, spread the word tomorrow. I've invited a few old friends to the mansion to discuss military strategy. Have Yanger stand by and learn. The heir of the Duke of Dingguo Mansion only knows cunning schemes, but knows nothing of military tactics. Wouldn't that be a laughingstock? To have our great Gan's top generals teach him military strategy is a tremendous blessing for him.
A little smooth talk, and the old man actually fell for it. Nice massage. Consider this a tip from yours truly, young master.
Do you need any other services?
The unorthodox kind?
Young master, I still need to check in with the madam. So, I'll take my leave now.
I'll pay extra. This playboy life is so comfortable.
If it were free, I might consider it, but paying for it. What is the point?
Did I misremember? Wasn't it under this big locust tree? Nis, something's wrong. Wasn't this letter in Gao Yang's hands? Where did you get this? How did it end up like this, miss? I found this outside the Duke of Dingguo Mansion. It was already torn like this when I picked it up. What? It was found outside the mansion. Miss.
Let's go off to the brothel for some tunes. Young master, where are you headed? Isn't it obvious? Off to the brothel for some tunes. Young master, you can't go right now. Why not?
Give me one good reason. There's an honored guest arriving at the mansion today. The old Duke specifically requested that you stand by
and learn military strategy. If you want to hit the brothel, better wait until after the lesson.
And besides, you didn't go there to listen to the music. You went there to spend the night.
Is that so? Then this young master doesn't understand? Uncle Fu, at your age, you sure seem to know your way around that sort of thing. You flatter me, young master. I only know a tiny bit. General Qin Shengguo of the Right Way Guard has arrived. General Lu Jin of the Left Way Guard has arrived. Duke Xiaoponu, protector of the state, has arrived.
Given the bond between us, no need for formalities. Once this old man has passed on, the Duke of Dingguo estate, I'll have to rely on all of you to look after it. Old Duke, it should be the Dingguo estate that looks after us from now on.
Indeed. Damn it all, the way your boy has been acting these past few days, even I'm getting a little rattled. The Grim Reaper of Locusts.
I've heard a thing or two about that, but the Grim Reaper of corrupt officials, where does that come from? At the morning court session, His Majesty announced grain shipments to Guangzhou for disaster relief.
But then he ordered Chang Hong to oversee the relief efforts.
Shang Hong, that man is extremely capable, but he is also the court's biggest corrupt official. Before the new year, he was stripped of his post and sent home for embezzlement, and His Majesty put him in charge of disaster relief. Tell me about it. One stone stirs 1,000 waves. The entire court erupted. Prince Rong was the first to step forward, accusing His Majesty of mistreating the people. 13 imperial censors, all launched into fiery impassioned condemnations. They even declared on the spot, if His Majesty insisted on his course, they would dash their heads against the pillars of the Golden Throne Hall.
His Majesty shouldn't be so foolish.
Foolish? Old Duke, that is what we all thought at first. But what happened next? Stunned everyone. His Majesty gave Chang Hong a direct order. Handle the relief well and your post is restored. Fail the relief efforts and you'll be punished to the fullest. He also sent his trusted men to accompany him. Chang Hong is extremely capable, and he's got a network of connections behind him. Giving him such a promise to get back into the court, he'll do everything in his power to relieve the disaster, even dip into his own pockets, and squeeze the officials he wants promoted, or his entire clan will be wiped out. Exactly, those 13 censors who claim to speak for the people, along with Prince Rong, Prime Minister Shu, and the rest, their faces turned green.
What a sight to behold!
I met with His Majesty privately afterward, and only then learned the brilliance went even deeper if Chang Hong failed at disaster relief. His Majesty would leak word of the refugees being buried alive, forcing the great families to act on the people's behalf. Then have Chang Hong executed to appease the public outrage. Now isn't that a ruthless move, but that is His Majesty's scheme. How does that involve Yang Ye? His Majesty's temperament is known throughout the court. A scheme like this, especially the backup plan, couldn't have come from His Majesty himself. Yesterday afternoon, His Majesty kept your eldest grandson behind alone. Right here in this mansion, a plot this vicious. Other than Gao Yang of the Duke of Dingguo's estate, who else could have dreamed it up? Old Duke, hurry and summon that rascal grandson of yours. Let me have a look at him. In all my years, this is the first time I've seen Prince Rong get played like that.
I must ask him properly today how this kid went from being Feng City's notorious good-for-nothing to suddenly becoming the living demon king that terrifies the whole realm. Indeed.
I want a good talk with him too, so I can go back and straighten out the useless descendants in my own household. Go fetch young heir.
Old Duke, that is not right of you. Your estate produces a brilliant schemer, and you serve us plain tea like this. Hurry up and bring out the good tea from your stores.
You and your picky palate. Fine, I'll let you have a taste today.
A few days ago, my son made a trip to Linjiang City for his merit in lowering grain prices. The local magistrate specially gifted him a box of tea leaves. My son may be a wastrel, but his filial piety is commendable. I brought it back specially to honor my old man and my father. Today I'll share it with you old generals. Someone, go to my room, the cabinet, bring out the tea case in the very back. A cunning strategist, yet still filial. That is truly rare. Then today, I'll be looking forward to this.
Uncle Fu, those old generals inside, what are they talking about? Why are they bringing up filial piety with me? Young master, go in and you'll see. Old Duke, the young master is here.
Your boy, Go Young. Greetings to all the old generals. You little rascal, you look so innocent. Never thought you'd be full of tricks. Even managed to get Prince Rong to lose out.
Just too skinny though, like a damn girl.
Not just skinny, looks frail too. Come by my place sometime. I'll teach you an ancestral technique to strengthen the kidneys. The prestigious Dingguo estate, the eldest young master if he can't perform. That'd be a real shame.
We're rough men, no need for formalities. We're brothers in arms with your grandfather. Comrades who fought through life and death. Calling us old generals is too distant. Let's hear you call us Grandpa.
This is the Grand General of the Left Guard, Old Man Lu Jin. Next to him is Grand General Qin Zhengguo and Duke Xiao Ponu, the protector of the nation. Go on, greet them.
Hello, Grandpa Lu. Hello, Grandpa Qin. Old Duke, this kid's not bad. I heard the Song family called off the engagement. I've got a granddaughter who is a real beauty. Today's this kid's lucky day. I'll betroth her to him. Grandpa Lu, to be honest, after the Song family broke it off, I've lost all faith in love. Better not.
That Song family is short-sighted, daring to break the engagement. Don't worry. Just for calling me Grandpa Lu, I'll definitely stand up for you. Several members of the Song family are training in the military. When I return, I'll put them through hell. Thank you, Grandpa Lu. At court today, His Majesty said to mix sand into the disaster relief grain. Was that your idea behind the scenes? Yes, that was me. Well done. The old Duke has a worthy successor. It truly warms my heart.
Sir, the tea box has been brought.
Open it and fill the cups for the generals. Such fine tea should be shared by all. Wait. Fill the tea box.
Sir, the teacups can't hold it all.
You worthless son, so this is the tea that Magistrate Du sent you. Father, I did warn you. You can't blame me for this. Cough. Wrong one, that is not the box. Go quickly and fetch my treasured finest spring tea.
Old Duke, I'm getting on in years. Not only blind, but deaf too.
Right. I didn't see a thing either.
My worthless son had a moment of foolishness, everyone. Let me take him away and give him a proper lesson, Father. I'm afraid today's lesson will have to be skipped. Where did you get the Emperor's Black Iron token? My dealings with Magistrate Du were perfectly legitimate. His Majesty is aware of it. When I presented my strategy yesterday, I was fortunate enough to earn His Majesty's favor and was granted this Black Iron token. His Majesty specifically noted that I am a pillar of the state and cannot be beaten. You always scheming for yourself. You even planned ahead to avoid a beating. After seeing this today, your reputation is truly well earned.
Enough. Let's skip the small talk. The reason I called you all here today is to discuss military strategy. Though the current emperor is a woman,
Her ambition for expansion far exceeds the late Emperor's U.S. old bones, might still have our uses in this lifetime.
The Chu Kingdom has been pushing reforms aggressively these past few years. Their ambitions are considerable. Let's discuss today if our great Gan were to march on Chu.
How do we take the city with minimal cost? The great Chu capital is heavily fortified and vast. Sieges have always been a tough nut to crack. Aside from throwing lives at it, what other options do we have?
You old fool, that is a load of crap. Everyone knows sieges cause heavy casualties. What we're here to discuss is how to minimize them.
You old bastard. Lu, why don't you share your brilliant insight then? You. I've got horses back at my place. Why don't you two go outside and settle it with a duel, then come back and talk?
In my view, the only way is to stock up on catapults and hammer away. plus dig tunnels for a surprise attack. Catapults are a pain to transport, and they can't hit worth a damn.
Chu's city walls are built with thick rammed earth. They won't break through, and tunnels are pure nonsense. Dig too close.
And the Chu defenders will just seal the exit. That is just suicide. Then we're back to square one. We still have to storm the walls head on. You little brat, we're discussing matters of war here. What are you doing hanging around, gentlemen?
Am I breaking some heavenly law by eating a lychee? You little schemer, eating lychees in public means you've got something up your sleeve, if you can't come up with something good. I'll teach you a lesson today, mark my words.
Grandfather, they're taking their frustration out on me. You have to stand up for your grandson, Yanger. Go on, let's hear it. If it is no good, tomorrow, you'll go meet old Lu's granddaughter and get the marriage settled early. What?
Kid, you're in luck. Once you've seen my granddaughter, I guarantee you'll forget all about that song, girl.
Grandfather, that won't do. How can there be happiness without love? I just want to hold a great-grandson soon. Actually,
I do know a thing or two about military strategy. Let's hear it. As the saying goes, the best strategy is to outwit the enemy. The next is to break their alliances, and the worst is to storm their cities. Siege warfare is a last resort.
The best strategy is to outwit the enemy.
The next is to break their alliances. The lowest tactic is to assault cities. Good lad. I misjudged you. You really do know your military strategy. Speak up. How exactly do we take the city with minimal casualties and quickly conquer Great Chu? First, when the two armies face off, our forces can feign weakness, send a few men to hurl insults beneath the city walls, say whatever's most vile, from cursing the garrison commander's mother and wife, to cursing his ancestors, cursing the Chu emperor's ancestors, to lure him out of the city to give chase. Then at the critical moment, a force strikes from the flank and routs them, then ride the momentum and storm the city.
Provocation and taunting. That does have some feasibility, but within the last 100 years, too many commanders have used this trick. Very few have pulled it off. These days, any city's garrison commander is no fool. The feeling you give me, boy, is like a gold-plated chamber pot. If you hadn't said that line, the best strategy is to outthink the enemy. The second is to break alliances through diplomacy. The lowest is to assault cities. Siege warfare is a last resort. I would have thought more of you.
But the moment you said it, I was a bit disappointed.
Hold on, generals. Don't be hasty. That tactic only works against average commanders. It is hardly a top-tier strategy, I admit. But I have another plan. Buster, bring me some rice. Boy, what are you planning to do? Say this table is the territory of Great Chu, this pile of rice grains is the city we and Great Gan intend to take. Then around it, there must be many villages and small towns. I'll use fewer rice grains to represent the small towns and villages.
Using rice grains to represent cities. That is a clever idea. Not bad. You little rascal. Stop beating around the bush.
What is your plan? If it were me? Storming the city is a last resort. I'd first go along. These villages and small towns, even if we attack them, would hardly cost us many soldiers. But what is the point of taking these villages and small towns? These villagers are weak and helpless. What is there to kill? Who said taking these villages and small towns is about killing them? I'm going to drive the people of Chu in one direction, and that direction is the big city I intend to attack, and as these people flee, they'll instinctively head for the big city. So for the defending general, he'll face a choice whether to let these people into the city or not. Our army isn't bearing down on them in full force. Most defenders will feel compassion. But once the gates open, it becomes a disaster, because the city's granaries hold a fixed amount. Every commoner who comes in adds another mouth to feed, as long as we cut off the city's supplies. The situation inside will turn dire. This plan is brilliant. Using Chu's own people to drain the city's food. Isn't that the biggest weakness in defending a city if they hand out rations? The food will dwindle fast, but if they refuse, riots will break out. When people are starving and can't take it anymore, they'll surely loot and burn. If they suppress it with force and turn their blades on their own people, the city will be gripped by panic if they don't suppress it. The chaos will spread even more fear. And that is our opportunity. Best to do it beforehand. Take a few small towns that resist fiercely and spread word of our brutality. Then when the city descends into chaos, put out the word. Those who surrender will live. Those who resist will be punished severely. That fear will spread through the entire city with panic in everyone's hearts. The city is bound to fall, but isn't this kind of ruthlessness too cruel, Grandpa Chin? On the battlefield, showing mercy to the enemy is cruelty to our own men. If we want to take the city quickly or even conquer an entire nation without a fearsome reputation, how can there be fear? But what if the defender doesn't fall for it, refusing to open the gates? Then the defender must be a renowned general, a tough nut to crack, but I still have a way. Our army won't slaughter the Chu civilians, we'll drive them out instead. But the Chu commander defending the city, he'll shut his own people out. The people of Chu will be heartbroken. We can easily sow discord among them, then promise them rich rewards. Whoever climbs the wall first and seizes the banner gets promoted 3 ranks, granted citizenship in our great Gan nation, enjoying wealth and glory that is bound to tempt someone this way. The Chu civilians outside the walls will keep applying pressure, throwing the defenders into disarray first. After all, Great Chu abandoned them. If they want to survive, someone's bound to waver. Even if no one dares to make a move, those tens of thousands of civilians alone are enough to put the defenders in a bind, wearing down their morale. First, drive the villagers from outside the city toward the gates. If the Chu commander takes pity and lets them in, it'll drain the city's food supplies, sparking panic. If the commander hardens his heart and shuts them out, those people will be deeply disillusioned. Then Great Gan can step in and stir the pot, promise them big rewards, get them to rally outside the walls and apply pressure, further rattling the defenders' morale even if they refuse to take the lead. Those tens of thousands of civilians alone are enough to become a thorn in the defenders' side, leaving them stuck between a rock and a hard place. If we want to quickly topple the cities within Chu's borders, when necessary, we can pick a few cities that resist fiercely, surround them with heavy troops, show our military might and besiege without attacking. Fear will spread through the city on its own. Those who open the gates live. Those who fight to the death have no way out. The instinct to survive will tear the city apart from within.
Your plan is ruthless, kid. But it does cut down on casualties. But that painted pie you mentioned earlier, what does that mean?
Grandpa Zhao, a painted pie is basically promising big rewards, painting a bright future, getting people to fight tooth and nail for that goal, then bailing at the end, for example, promising the Chu civilians Orphan kill a Chu general, reward 1,000 taels of gold and make him a general. When the people of Chu see this carrot dangled before them, they'll fight to the death for it. But once it is done, whether we deliver or not is entirely up to us. This whole carrot on a stick thing, as long as it is big enough, it just needs to make people risk their lives for it. It doesn't necessarily have to come true. Once the fighting dies down, they'll be under our roof, toss them a few scraps, and I'll have no choice but to swallow it. Is there something on my face, kid? Or is my plan too ruthless? And it scared you old-timers? Nonsense. I've been on the battlefield since I was 13. I've seen more dead men than you've eaten meals. Sure, the plan is vicious, but trying to scare your Grandpa Palu, you're still a million miles off.
I just had a dry throat a moment ago. Wanted a sip of hot tea.
You little brat, you're way too cocky. You call that a vicious plan?
Exactly, what haven't we seen? In terms of inhuman atrocities, what is your little scheme compared to that? Drink your tea.
I suppose I was being presumptuous. Yanger, you don't need to be that ruthless. Dangling false promises isn't what a man does.
If you make a promise, you want to keep it. Otherwise, word gets out. How will you ever lead troops again? Grandfather is right. I've learned my lesson.
You know, kid, you do have some talent for military strategy. Let me test you again. If you answer this one right, then this matter with your wrong is settled. But if you can't, then come to my estate tomorrow. How about that?
What is the matter? Cat got your tongue. Getting scared now? His granddaughter's name is Yorong. What a beautiful name.
The sea takes in 100 rivers. Great capacity comes from embracing.
Why are you dragging your feet, kid? If you're scared, say so. If you're not, say so. Your Grandpa Lu isn't going to mock you. Go ahead, Grandpa Lu, ask away. I'll do my best to answer. You little rascal, you've got more guts than your old man.
That old codger's just fine and dandy. Why's he resorting to personal attacks like I don't even exist?
Don't say I'm picking on a younger generation. My question isn't all that hard. Just like you said earlier, I lead an army using your method. I surround the city. If you were the general defending it, how would you break the siege?
That old bastard's got some nerve. This is practically a no-win situation. Even we'd find it tough to handle. And he is using it to stump a kid. Defending the city.
Grandpa Lu defending the city. Isn't that hard? It is just that the method's a bit underhanded. You sure you want to hear it?
Go on, kid. Let's hear it. I'd like to see what kind of mischief you've got brewing in that head of yours.
Grandpa Lu. That stings a little, you know? I've always been pure at heart, harmless as can be. Everything I say is a good plan for the nation. There is no mischief brewing in here at all. Just clever strategies to serve the country. And honestly, I wasn't holding back anything bad since ancient times other than shutting the gates and holding out. There's almost no other way. Sure, there are some tricks, but they're all minor moves. They won't change the bigger picture. The only real option is to hold your ground and not engage. Ha! You little brat. So even you can hit a dead end if tens of thousands of civilians suddenly flood into the city? How long would the food supplies last? You little rascal, I asked about supplies. Why are you bringing up the old and young in the city? What I'm talking about is exactly the consumption of those tens of thousands. That is way too ruthless. A move. You're dragging the whole city into this mess. As I said before, this method's a bit inhumane, but it is a last resort when there is no other choice. The key to a siege defense is food. A blockade always cuts off supply lines when you're backed into a corner if you want to keep the city. This is the only way. Well, that is a rare one. And you think, when things get too inhumane? Grandpa Chin, what are you saying? I'm only ruthless with outsiders. You've got a pure heart, kid. Grandpa Lu, why are you wobbling on your feet? I'm several yards away from you. You can't pin that on me.
Butler Fu. Give Yang Air another 500 taels of silver, whether he goes to the gambling den or the brothel to see the top courtesan. Just stay a few steps away from me, old man.
Thank you, grandfather. Actually, I have quite a few insights on the art of war. No need. You may go. Keep Chang Wen by your side. Go soak up some refinement when you have time. Yes. Big brother, where are we headed now? The Rouge Pavilion, listening to tunes at the Pleasure House.
The old Duke lived his whole life with honor and walked the straight and narrow. I just fear his legacy might be tarnished. But I have to say, the Duke of Dingguo's estate has a prodigy like this. It'll thrive for 100 years.
I have something to say, and I hope the old Duke won't take offense.
We go way back. Speak freely.
This kid probably won't last long. In His Majesty's eyes, using him is a moral burden, not using him as a waste.
Letting him go is terrifying.
I'll petition His Majesty right away. We must forbid Gao Yang from traveling to the 6 other nations, keep him here in Daqian. It won't cost much silver, but once he sets foot in another country, we'll all be in deep trouble.
Years ago, I carried out a military order and slaughtered an entire village. To this day, I can't sleep at night. But after hearing Gao Yang's words today, my mind is finally at ease. Tonight, I'll finally get a good night's sleep.
We hold military power. We must report today's matter to His Majesty. Old Duke, will you cover for Gao Yang a bit? I've got 1 foot in the grave already.
Fame and fortune are just passing clouds. Write every word truthfully in the memorial.
Yanger may be vicious,
but his venom is aimed at enemy nations.
He is the cure for Daqian's cancer. Prince Rong made his move at court this morning. Though His Majesty diffused it, it shows how much power he wields. I can see, this Prince Rong is most likely trying to make an example of the Duke of Dingguo's household.
The old Duke should be on his guard.
A few days ago, I did have some concerns, but now I'm not afraid in the slightest. This power struggle at court, the outcome is far from decided.
True enough, Prince Rong picking a fight with Gao Yang, that grim raper, is as good as finished. I'll just sit back and watch the show.
The Gao family has been lying low all these years. It is about time they produced someone who can shake up the political landscape.